And we're live.
This is RNVP, episode 5. Mukela saying some dumb shit. Go ahead.
Wow, we going out the rip hard.
Seven deadly sins sucks. Changed my mind. And what I'm saying is that most of the primary characters in the show and side characters, their whole purpose, once they get their nut off, they are no longer needed in the story anymore. Every character has the same primary goal. Even Gauther. Did you read the last chapter?
No, I haven't read the last chapter. No.
Last chapter, this dude got a flashback of some random bitch. You ain't never see her ass before. I don't know if you ain't never see her. Please tell me somebody else read the last chapter.
I haven't been reading the series. I've been waiting for the anime.
Damn.
Me either.
Don't listen to Mukela. Mukela tripping, bro.
And the action, and like and that's the thing is that I think one of the things that keeps it on a high note is like, oh, some of the action, it's nicely choreographed, but I can't get past the action enough to sit there and listen to this fucking story because the primary, literally, the series, the reason why the series even takes place at all is because the Demon King and the Archangel Queen broke up. What kind of fucking
Damn.
So them breaking up.
Okay, fam, Mukela, this is what I gotta say, bro. Like, do you realize romance is one of the like singular most things used in anime?
But that's the
like
thing,
relations,
that's nice. But if that was just their story arc, right? Because every character is gonna have their story arc. Why does every character have the same story arc?
I don't know, they like pussy. Come on,
bro. That's lazy.
That's not lazy. That's addicting.
Bro, every character, and this is one thing that I like that made the characters different. Not every character had to have a love interest. You don't need to. Not every character has to have one. And some characters can already have one and be happy and then still fight. They don't have that. Any character that has their love interest is safe or their love interest has been secured in some way, shape, or form, they no longer do anything. One of the archangels is using what's her name's body. What's her name? Margaret? Gil Thunder's like, we need to protect her. You can't do shit against none of these motherfuckers. You were weak as hell.
So you're relating him saying that to a character they need to protect as him wanting some pussy.
No. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that he cannot keep up anymore. His story arc does not continue.
The mangaka has to write stories for them. Like, we can't hold that character that they're not used right now. Like, that's not fair. Like, I feel as though when we critique manga, we can't do that. Like, the dude can't write a story for himself. Like, the mangaka has to do that. And clearly, Seven Deadly Sins is not over. We thought it was going to be. It looked like it was, but it's not.
It's about to be over.
Yeah.
What are they going to do after this?
Yeah, probably by the end of next year. Probably.
Because what are they going to do after this? Because there's nothing to do after this. Because you assume after this arc, everybody has their little pairings, their significant other, yada, yada, and it moves on. That was one of the things about the ending of Naruto that I absolutely hated, is that every character had to get paired off. You don't need to do that. You don't have to do that. That's not necessary.
Actually, that's one of the reasons why I did like the ending. I didn't like the Shinobi Wars, but the ending was cool. Bro, like, look, everybody was fucking with each other. Come on, like, that's not bad.
But for example, some of them
wants a different
poor build-up. But some of them had very poor build-up. Some of them had some build-up to them.
Oh yeah, like that's not arguable. Like, I think we've already said this on this podcast. Like, like, the build-up was bad, but like when you got to the last, like, when you got to the epilogue and you got to the last 2 chapters and you saw how everybody was paired off. Yeah.
There were only a few that I thought made slightly any sense to me. Only a few. And it's funny because Ino to Shikamaru and Tamari was the one that made the most sense out of all of them. Everybody else,
yeah,
Like even
really?
the Hinata and Naruto, no build up. I'm sorry. There was no
what? What?
Zero.
No, that's not that's like literally ahistorical. No, Michaela, that's literally ahistorical. That like no.
It was one-sided the entire show.
Yeah.
The whole show was one-sided.
No, that's not true. Like that's not true.
How is that not true?
Arc.
When did he
until the pain arc? Like we know this. Like dog, it's written down. Like we don't have to.
He didn't return her feelings. The only thing is that he was mad that she sacrificed herself for him.
Yes, and then he realized that she sacrificed herself because she likes me.
No, he didn't realize that until he went to the moon. Remember that? Nude had to go.
And then there's a movie that says that that's a movie that is canon. That's canon to Naruto that literally shows their relationship blooming. So I don't know what you're saying.
But it had to force it.
That's not a force. That's not a force. Like that's not forced. That is the narrative that he wanted to write. You might not like it. Like guys, I can understand. But this is my problem. You can critique something. You can be wrong in the critique though. You can critique something. Like you cannot like it, and I can respect it, but telling you he forced that is not true.
So through 699 chapters, where in those 699 chapters did he build up to their relationship?
He did.
Yeah, it is 700 chapters, but that's exactly what I mean.
He did it throughout the whole thing, and then he did it in an anime. I don't know what to say, bro.
What moments built their relationship up? If you can tell me what moments built their relationship up,
wasn't it him giving him all types of confidence, and then her monologues at like her soliloquies in her head, and then they bonded when they took a break, if I'm not mistaken, in between the exams and went to like a hot tub. And like they talked with each other, but that's part like you can critique it, but like he wrote it that way. You can critique it, but he wrote it that. I won't say it's forced. That's the only thing I have a problem with. You can hate it
if it's filler.
Like I think the Sakura Sasuke thing is the one that don't make sense. That's
right. Neither of them make sense, but they're both forced. And the reason why, again, I say that Hinata one is forced, even though it's very obvious from the beginning of the series, when you meet her, she likes him. He does not give a fuck about her.
That's cool. But dog, isn't that every relationship? That like yo, let me ask you a question. I don't want to get personal, but like when you and your girl, like who liked who first?
It was mutual.
It was mutual, but like somebody had to develop feelings first.
But the problem is that there's even if that happens, there's a build up to the other person returning those feelings. It's not just you like me, duh. Sakura's not gonna fuck me. I'm just gonna go to you now.
That's hilarious. That's crazy. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
There was no build up to this. It was hilarious. They went on.
Sasuke just drops his pants. That's hilarious.
I mean, it's not
that's
wrong.
That's what I thought too.
He almost
he was just like, oh, well, I might as well have a kid.
He almost killed Sakura more than once.
Yeah,
he attempted to, and he still gets her. Naruto was infatuated with Sakura. He was not paying attention to Hinata. He didn't pay attention to her. Not during the Great Ninja War. Not during any of that. And even
the tuning exams.
Not during the tuning exam. Even the holding hands thing. And I know you're gonna probably think, but that was the moment. Everybody held hands together. Just so he could transfer the chakra to everybody. That was not a moment for
it's crazy. Because if you were to critique Sakura and Sasuke's relationship, and Hinata's relationship, there's a whole bunch in anime we can do that are worse than that.
Okay. I mean,
Homer and Vegeta don't make sense. And I've watched it plenty of times, and
they started off as fuck buddies. That's it. It's that simple. Like
she let that man live.
But let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Vegeta up until that point has showed no sense of what romance was.
Yep.
Or what love was, or what a relationship actually functioned like.
Yep.
Like the closest person he was to was Goku, and he hated his guts.
Yeah, exactly. But bro, how much?
Let me help.
How many
That's
years of build-up was
acceptable.
that, though?
That's acceptable to y'all. Wait, that's acceptable to y'all.
How much build-up did they have?
Wait.
That was a lot of build-up.
But that's the thing.
They
That's
had zero
just because
build-up to it.
that's a longer series. Like, guys, it went for longer. It went longer than 700 chapters for them to get to that point.
But see,
So
here's
is that
my
acceptable?
thing, right? But here's my thing.
So they gotta be. So they gotta be fucking first.
I mean, it kind of helps.
They don't have
Get
to.
out of here.
They don't have to.
Bro.
But let me tell you something, right? Let me tell you something. There was no build-up to their relationship from the get-go. But here's the thing, right? You can see this trend in any of the movies where you get to see how Saiyans interact. Okay? They do not have that semblance of relationship that Bardock and Gine had. They don't.
No.
They only fuck to breed and move on.
Mm-hmm.
Vegeta is going to think of it that way. Oh, I'm living at this bitch's place? Well, time to pop my seed in her. That's all he fucking cares. He's just like, I'm gonna just pop my seed in her because I'm here. Just like any of these other animals would do. He don't fucking care. So he's gonna do that. But because he is quote unquote becoming more of a human character rather than being more of the animalistic Saiyan character, he is gonna slowly start to fill the fatherly role over time. There's a difference in how their relationship structure is. Whereas when you have Naruto and you have Hinata, there is no build-up, there is no interaction of anything.
They do interact though, dog. Like that's crazy that you don't say they don't interact.
Their interactions are never significant enough. And
we have evidence of the actual interactions being significant to the character development to both.
Okay, so tell me anywhere within.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you, Mukela. Let me ask you a question. During the tuning exams, why do you think Hinata went hard? It's not because she just had to do pride. Why do you think she went hard?
She went hard for Naruto.
Because what? Okay, and that's a huge character development for her. Really? Right?
Because it started and ended at the
right. And Naruto literally killed Pain because of her.
No.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he was going to kill Pain regardless. That's not a question.
He
got really mad
because Pain destroyed the village.
What triggered him was her death, her sacrifice.
That was the last straw. Yeah.
That was the last straw because die. Okay, let me break it down.
On Naruto just for the sake of shitting on Naruto. I'm not for that.
We can do that any other day. We're actually breaking it down.
We really can. We could pick easier targets. I don't think this is an easy target.
But that's the thing is that Naruto, okay, he fought Pain initially because of Jiraiya, and now when he goes to the village, he sees it's fucked up. But there's one thing. He does not actually see anybody die. The only person he visually sees die is her. That's it.
Yes, and doesn't she say, if I'm not mistaken, does she say like some dialogue to him that triggers him?
Probably.
It makes him cry and that unleashes the six tails. And Pain was like, "Oh God."
It's more of the fact that he saw.
I'm not saying it's well written, by the way. I'm just saying I'm not gonna say it's forced.
It was not. There was no.
Because we were literally saying for like 3 or 4 years, Team Hinata or Team Sakura. Like we can't flex like we weren't doing that for 3 years.
So then tell me this: if that's the case, and his romantic involvement with her started then, and when he started reciprocating,
it was a slow burn, dog. It was a slow burn.
But how come during the Great Ninja War he's still trying to get Sakura?
No, he wasn't. Bullshit. No, he wasn't. That's a lie.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. What, Mukela? Literally, she tried to bait him into like, "I love you," and he literally said, "If you ever do that to me ever again, I'm going to fight you because we are friends now."
No, it's only
he had moved on. He was never trying to get her.
No, that's not why he said that. The reason why he said that was because he knew she was lying.
Yeah. Okay.
But he still wanted her.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Because they would have wrote that. They would have wrote that in. No.
He still wanted her. That's
No,
not the,
I don't. I really, honestly, no. Because
No, I actually agree with Mukela on that one.
he still wanted her.
Still wanted
Look at
her.
the chapter.
He just knew
no,
she was
I
lying.
don't believe that.
You cannot
Go-
believe it. It's in the chapter. He still
It's
wanted her.
literally after the pain arc. I don't know what you're saying. That's when he realizes that I have another girl that likes me.
No, he only realized that when he saw
the filler is like if I'm not mistaken, the movie is right after that.
But no, there's the thing. The movie is years.
Yes.
At least 2 years.
2 years, yeah, because he's like older, a little bit older.
Then. So the thing is with the movie, since it's at least 2 years after that, he only realizes her affection for him when he has her chakra. When he gets to share her chakra. That's it.
And you think that's forced?
Yes.
No, because they hinted to it. That's not forced, dude.
If
that's not forced. Forced is literally it happens in one chapter.
It happened in one movie.
It happened in a movie, Mukela. But you can't say you hinted for something and then it's forced. Do you understand that?
So Jake, you're saying it build up to that? Is that what you're saying?
What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Her feelings for him.
I can see if Hinata was a plank from Ed and Eddie and didn't say anything. And then the movie, she comes out, and he grabs her chakra, and he's like, "Oh, you love me? Let's get this cracking." No, he had a hint. Guys, we can read in between the lines of manga. Let's not do that.
There is no in between the lines for that. He did not have.
We read between the lines of manga all the time, so we're gonna play stupid right now.
There is no playing because he didn't like her until then.
Oh my god! But he got the point though. That's not forced.
It is because that's forced attraction. So
it's not forced.
Okay, let me tell you something. Let me give you a situation. So let's say you and
these Tic Tacs over here.
No. Let me say. I got something. Let me say you and your girl, right? Here's a perfect example. She likes you for 6 years. Okay? 6 years. You don't like her at all. You don't share that type of romantic feelings for her in any way. So 6 years and a day go by. And on that date, she says, "I like you." And then you're like, okay. And then your relationship starts. Where was the buildup to you having those? Okay,
Mukela, see, that's the thing I don't like is because you assume that it's that, and the manga really just showed us that that's not the case. Like, they were friends. They had conversations. He knew. No, he knew. So you don't think Naruto was, like, not really just, like, focusing on trying to save the world? And didn't really have time. Like with Sasuke and Sakura, I even have to take that back because it's the same thing, but in opposite directions. It's literally the same thing. I think Sasuke was too preoccupied with what he had to do. We can read in between the lines, guys. I don't think we need to have the manga like.
Even though Sasuke tried to kill Sakura
twice,
he tried to kill her twice,
but he was never going to kill her. Are you crazy? He was like we all know this. He's said that I was never going to kill you.
I don't know if I buy that.
I don't believe that, bro.
The only reason why he wouldn't kill her is because
misunderstood character in that show because he bluffed a lot.
No, I can summarize Sasuke in one word, bro.
He bluffed a lot. He bluffed a lot and played his cards right and got himself in the situations.
But then how come after they take down Kaguya, he's like, "Oh, now I want to take over the Leaf Village." Like, come on now you're gonna try to pull out Madara?
Yeah, that was his goal.
So glad I didn't watch this series.
I know, right?
All right, I know. Oh my God.
This whole argument been trash since y'all started.
Yeah, it has.
He's not wrong though. No, how is the end of Naruto this man gonna repulse?
You know what's a forced relationship? Ichigo and Urahime. Like that's if we just gonna be honest, that's a forced relationship.
So then, how is Orihime and Ichigo different than Naruto and Hinata?
Because she never let that dude know. What are you talking about? We never, literally, the last chapter was her pregnant. We never saw them be romantic at all.
Okay, but that's the manga.
How
is that different than the manga?
Right, but this is what I'm saying, Mukela. Even if the manga doesn't show it, at least the anime does, and that gives people. The anime didn't. Yes, it, dude.
Hold up.
Dude, you can not say the filler didn't, but Naruto got the hint.
No, okay. All right. So let's break this down. Hinata and
I'm just gonna say you're right, bro. I'm just gonna say you're right because I'm done talking about the trash series.
let me break this down for you.
We'll be here another hour.
Let me break this down for you, okay? The purpose of the movie
together, Naruto to be happy from being bullied all the damn time. Like we acted like that whole dang thing's forced. And I was like, dang, they got a kid that has his own series. Like, let him rock out,
bruh. Like, him being bullied doesn't even make sense within the context of the
show.
We
know. Yeah, we had a whole conversation about that.
So I'm not even gonna talk about him being bullied because that didn't even make sense within the show's own context.
Bullied. Get out of here.
They were like, they were like, they bullied. They can't believe they bullied him. Yeah, the son of the fourth Hokage, the fucking the heir to the Senju DNA,
Uzumaki blood, pure blood,
the Nine Tails,
super ninja, with
Nine Tails,
Pacific Ocean level worth of chakra. And, and by the way, I have the Nine Tails, the most volatile tail beast in me.
And everybody he interacted with besides Iruka, who's still beating off against the wall somewhere because he's a useless character.
You're foul for that. You're foul.
No, what character? What's the Iruka even as a character?
You're foul for that. Iruka kept that man sane. Iruka kept him sane. Iruka is like one of the
one episode
of that series.
One episode he kept him sane. Oh yeah.
Oh come on, Mukela. He did raise him. You understand that, right?
Quote unquote.
Bruh, okay, you really hate this series. Now it's really like you really
no, it's just that because Naruto is just poorly written from the beginning of the series to the end.
Forced.
So what's Iruka doing?
I don't think it's forced.
Nothing.
At least they hinted.
If it's poorly written, then wouldn't forced elements be included?
Exactly.
Yes, but not for that
writing.
Just okay, but not for that, Jaron. Not for that. We knew it was going to happen, guys. That's not forced. That is literally not forced.
Knowing it's going to happen simply because of the relationships that have been established in Shonen prior to this one.
No, dog.
Does not mean
no. Mukela, I literally read the manga and it's like, okay, Naruto at some point is going to end up with Hinata. Like that's a thing. People had debates over this. What are we talking about, guys? We had debates over this. This is something I'm not making up. So how can you say it's forced if we had debates over it for like 5 years?
The problem is that the audience themselves, if they're sitting there and they have to debate on
that's an issue.
That is an issue in itself.
That happens with every other medium that ever exists. What are we talking about?
You always
do that.
No, because there's always, this is how in all the romance anime, I don't care what romance anime it is. I don't care what anime has an element of romance. Whoever the main girl is the girl who gets the main dude. Every single
and
time.
They broke that mold in that shonen. They did. The main female character in Naruto is Sakura.
Okay.
They literally broke that narrative. Right?
No.
Oh man, you just hating
because she's even I don't.
So who's the main female character?
The main female character. There are no main female characters.
There are main female characters, dog.
Okay, but wouldn't that qualify Hinata as one? I don't know.
Well, no, she will be a secondary.
Naruto.
She didn't have that much. She didn't have that much time compared to Sakura.
Okay. Naruto and Sasuke,
female characters.
Naruto and Sasuke are the main characters. Yes, everybody else is a side character.
Female character. It doesn't matter what their ranking is. Who's the main female character? It is Sakura.
No, there are no main female characters. All the females in this series are side characters. All of them.
No, guys, because you say it does not mean that is
what do you know. What do you know about Sakura?
What do you mean? What do I know about Sakura?
What do you know about her? What do you know about her?
Okay, because I don't know her backstory does not mean that she's not a main female character.
Why do
we don't have
I'm
to
done
go
with this conversation though.
I was gonna say,
what are we talking about? What are we talking about? No, but seriously, but like literally, what does that have to do with anything?
Because if the character doesn't have
Orihime is the main female character, one of the main female characters in Bleach. We don't know her backstory.
Wrong. She's a side character. Rukia is the main female, not Orihime.
Rukia doesn't even show up for. Okay. Rukia doesn't even show up for some arcs. Like
exactly.
I don't know how she's main if she don't show up for some arcs. Sakura showed up for every last single one. Every last single one, she showed up.
Actually, that's wrong. Rukia is in all the arcs.
No, she's not.
Which one is she not in?
Is she in the Fullbringer arc? Because I swear that was just Ichigo by himself.
No, she was there.
Where?
She showed up at the end.
At the end.
Orihime didn't do anything in that arc either.
At the end.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying she's a main female character in the show. She's a integral
that you know
part
nothing
of
about.
Show. Who, fam?
What do you? What about the character?
But that's what I'm trying to say to you. Just because it's like that doesn't mean it is.
Excuse me?
Yeah, just because you don't know her backstory does not mean she's not important.
I feel like you heard the first time.
So
that's nuts. That's like breaking all types of rules.
He's not saying
there are plenty of fictional characters we do not know their backstory, and they are important. That is nuts.
No,
that
just because you're important doesn't make you a main character.
What are we talking about?
Just because you're important doesn't make you a main character, Jake.
Exactly. If you can be important and not be a main character, but if nobody knows anything about the character at all,
Winry is important. She's not a main character.
She's not.
The fact that y'all calling Sakura not important to that series is
she wasn't important.
It's literally nuts.
You just said if you're not a main character, doesn't mean you're not important. We just said that.
That's nuts to me. That's nuts to me. Y'all just literally said she's not because y'all say she's not important.
No, because the writer
did not say she's not important. We said she's not a main character.
She is. Oh my god, she's literally in every dang episode. She's a main character.
Okay, Kakashi's basically in every episode. He's a main character.
Oh my god! What are we talking about? We'll get
to the next topic.
We'll go to the we gonna go to the next one because
they probably.
I just want y'all to make sense. Y'all can't say nobody's a main character and they show up in every damn episode just because I don't know their damn backstory.
All right, you don't know if you don't know anything about. Is Neji a main character?
No.
No. Oh.
He's not. Oh my god.
Is Neji a main?
The homie's fire and cool, and we like to rag on Sakura, and she become a joke because some of these fools out here are sexist as hell. Doesn't mean that she's not no dang important or main character.
She's not important. She hasn't. Her contributions to the series are insignificant in comparison to.
Like she literally is like an integral part of that whole series.
Oh, like, really? Who's she related to in the series?
Who? Mukela. Wow. We really about to do this.
Yeah, because the only people who matter in that series.
Because we don't know her lineage. She's
no. That's not what I mean. Because the only people important in that series are people who have a relation.
Dog, you have boiled Naruto down to its lore, and you are making it about the whole series.
But the whole series is literally about its lore.
Yes, okay. It's part of the series. It's part of it. It's not the whole series, dog.
It is the whole series. Because without of it, so
please make this football. I'm watching the game. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh, you sucky. Oh, okay.
The kicker missed.
That's what we were seeing. Oh yeah, he missed it because it's LSU. Sorry, Bakumi.
Oh,
dang.
So, here's what I'm saying, right?
Oh my goodness. I'm just trying to get to what y'all saying. She's a main character. We can hate her. I feel you. Get the jokes off, but she a main character. Get your jokes off. I'm all for the jokes.
If she is not related,
I'll call her main character.
The fact that she got cut by
we'll start. Hey guys, audience, we'll start at 11 o'clock. Okay, we'll start. We'll start.
I don't know what time 11 o'clock is, fam.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
There you go.
Here's the thing, right? Let me explain this. I'll explain everything with less than those 5 minutes. So, if you are not a character, you can be an important character to the series, but that doesn't mean you're a main character, right? Is that understandable?
No, because you can't be no damn main character, and main character means You are part of the narrative.
Look at Madara. Look at Madara and
is Chi a main character, Jake?
But that's the thing. Naruto is so long and it's an epic. It's an epic. If you really want to think about it, it's a gigantic ninja epic. There are multiple main characters. There's like 10, 15 of them. If you really want to think about it. Really, there's not. No. That make the narrative go along. There's not 15 main characters.
No.
For the whole story. Michaela, you really hate this series because you're not making any sense.
No, let me tell you.
15, there's like 10 to 15 main characters in Naruto and everybody else is a side character.
No, there's 2 main characters and everyone else is a side character. Naruto and Sasuke are the only main characters in the entire show.
Those 2 literally cannot make the narrative go by themselves.
They did though. They did.
They did. Yeah.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. So if we take Kakashi completely out the series, the narrative still goes.
Yes.
See, no. That pause. You can't. No, you can't. You can't. You take Obito out the series. Does the series keep going? No. If you take? My God, what are we saying, dude? I understand we hate the series.
It built up to that final fight in the end, though.
Let me tell you. Oh
my God! Like there's multiple main characters. What are we doing?
Okay, all right. There's a difference between an important character and a main character. Dio Brando is an important.
No, that's all. I'm not. I'm not arguing the.
Wait.
I'm just saying
not a main character.
Main character.
Listen, just hear me out.
Okay.
He's a main character. Can we all agree on that? She don't gotta be important, but she's a main character.
No, we're saying the opposite of what you're saying.
I would like to explain.
She's not a main character, but she's an important character. That's literally what we're saying.
Say what you were, Mukela, say what you were saying. Go.
Yeah.
Is it not me?
Oh my God. Dio Brando is the main character of only 2 parts of JoJo.
I don't want to hear about JoJo. I don't want to
hear about it.
Wait. Just let him finish his thing.
Trying to give you an example. He's a main character of 2 parts of JoJo. That's it. 2. But he's an important character for 8 parts. Does that make sense?
I actually get what he's saying, though.
Sakura is not a main character through any of the story, but she's an important character because there's no part of the story that is integral, that focuses on her and is integral enough to change the story and move it.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I would flip it. I think a main character is somebody who shows up a lot.
No. Because they could
no.
They could not.
Let me explain. Let me explain. A main character is somebody who shows up a lot and progresses the narrative. An important character is somebody, if you take them out of the actual story, the narrative won't progress. And I think Sakura's not important, but she's a main character. I don't mean main as important, guys. I mean main. She's just there, dog.
But you just said that.
She's just she's there. I didn't say she's important. I said she's a main character. You said she's not a main character. I'm like, that's not true. She's in like 80% of the episodes and like 80% of the manga. That's a main character. She's not that important though. She fights like 1 person in the Shinobi Alliance. In the Shippuden, like you told me. Like Mukela had to tell me that, and I had to remember that. And I was like, oh yeah, so that's not important. Like, who's more important to her? Guy.
Let me
Kakashi?
tell you. So,
and Kakashi and Guy, I wouldn't consider Guy a main character, but he's super important.
That's super debatable. But a main, so just the definition of a main character is that the story is about them. The story is not about Sakura ever. It's not. It's not about her. If you're a main character, the story is about you. And any character who has a major purpose or role in the plot.
What purpose means you're important? You have a main characters, guys. I mean, her name showing up in most of the credits.
Okay, but there's a
like I'm boiling this down to its surface level definition. Y'all are putting a definition to it. Let me explain that. Main character means she just show up. She there. You see her. She interact with the other main characters, right? Yeah. Okay, that's it. That's all I'm saying. We're not gonna play her like that. No, she ain't important. Hell no.
See, okay.
No. On that note, we gotta put this to
because
we've been here for like a solid hour. It's not gonna stop y'all, like honestly.
But
that's cool.
Yeah.
Finish up.
No, I actually wanted to get to like actual stuff that's
for real. So, But let me finish off with this. If you're a main character, by definition, the story is about you. There is no, we're not going to call them a main character when the story isn't about them.
Actually, I concede. What's combined both of ours? Naruto is this main character. Everybody else is playing in his universe, right? But there's a hierarchy to the actual main character. And I would rank Sakura really, really low on the main character list to the point where she don't even need to be on the list. And then she's not important. Does that make sense?
I can respect that.
Does that make sense? Because it's really about it's really Naruto's journey. And then like a little sidetrack with Sasuke.
I wouldn't say it's a little sidetrack.
In the grand scheme of things, no, it was like a 60-40 split. But now I see what you're saying.
He gets into, but that's what I'm saying.
Like the story is really about those two guys.
Exactly.
Right? But she is so prominent in the series, I almost have to think of her and Kakashi and like Sarutobi and like Madara and Obito and like Killer Bee. Like these are main characters for like hundreds of chapters. No. But the story is not about them.
If about Naruto. By definition, the definition of a main character, please look it up. The story is about you. Period. It is about you. You are the main character. When you look at Naruto, it is about Naruto and Sasuke. It's about them. That's it. It is not about anybody else.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's what I just said.
Right. But anybody else is not a main character. Everybody else other than them two is not a main character. Dragon Ball is about Goku.
Yeah, but Vegeta's a main character.
Vegeta is a main character in Z. The main characters change, but Goku remains as the main character.
The focal point. He's the focal main character.
Yeah, he's the protagonist.
Like, Mukela, do you realize when they say main character, did you actually click under the wiki and see like the other levels of what a character is? Because I've taken writing classes and there are levels to writing a character and they are all listed under main characters. Like the prominent characters are called main characters.
But Sakura isn't.
The story is about Naruto. Like when you write a novel, you just can't say that you got one main character. Like the story's about Harry Potter. There's 3 main characters, or there's multiple main characters. Everybody else is just playing in their world.
There's 4. And that's about it. Everybody else is a side character by definition.
Okay.
About them.
Okay,
guys,
it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
No, don't say no more words. We're done.
Naruto.
Put that on a cat, boy. I swear.
Hey, Madara gang.
Naruto in Spanish.
Naruto. Anyways, moving on.
All right, next topic.
Okay, y'all want to talk about the streaming and why Xbox gonna fail in like 20 years?
20.
Oh, man. I don't want to think.
Mixer is already a shitty website.
Damn.
Oh, no.
Oh boy.
He didn't even talk about the games. He went after the stupid or video sharing app built in. Jesus.
Shitty. Mixer is awful.
It's
awful.
Not that bad. It's not that
awful.
Bad.
Yes.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, it is.
It's not that bad.
Pretty
It's not that bad. Twitch better. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. I think PlayStation's share is better, but you know.
Wait, why do you think Mixer is bad, Caleb?
Oh, John, it's so buggy.
So the reason why Mixer is bad.
It's so buggy. I tried to use it for FIFA and I failed so hard.
It's really buggy.
Oh.
Have you ever tried to use it on mobile before?
What?
Have you ever tried to use Mixer on mobile before?
I never tried to use Mixer at all.
No, yeah, same here.
Using Mixer on mobile is the jankiest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That shit is not optimized for a mobile device. It's not. It's not optimized in the slightest for a mobile device. I hate the layout. The layout is ugly. Just the website in itself, even when it comes to trying to find people or watch people stream, let me go on the website right now and let me give you an example.
But you can stream at 4K on Mixer, can't you?
Let's look. Let's look at Mixer. The layout is perfectly very similar to Twitch's layout. Very similar. That's nice. That's good. Why the fuck are they streaming? RNVP. Please take that shit somewhere else. Let's see.
He really just went to Mixer and shit on it.
No, I'm serious. This.
Mukela, you wild, fam. Yeah. You really just went to the website to shit on it. That's crazy.
Gotta point out those pros and cons.
There's this really shitty ass, like weird. I wouldn't say dark blue, but it's this weird blue background. It's lifeless as fuck. Lifeless as hell. Let's click a stream. The stream layout is ugly. It's lifeless as hell.
I've never heard of somebody describe somebody's UI as ugly.
Look at the UI of this. It's just all blue. Everything's blue.
Bro, you're hilarious.
White. It's ugly. It's ugly as hell. There's no color to anything. And even Twitch is purple and black. Purple and black is a much better color dynamic than white and blue.
I agree.
You look on Twitch, it looks more animated. It looks more lively. Right? It just looks like a bootleg Twitch.
Yeah, that's what it is, though. It's a bootleg.
It's like the X videos.
That's
XX.
Like that's what it is. Like, I thought we all knew that. I thought we all knew Mixer wasn't gonna blow up.
Nah, but look, like, you've been to X videos and then you see XNXX. This
right.
is NXXX videos.
Oh no!
Oh shoot! Yo, we can't be talking about that on here.
Have a nice night.
Oh man. Oh no. Oh, we opened up a can of worms on this one and shit. I opened up a can of worms on this one.
As I've known you, that might be the wildest statement you ever said.
Pretty wild stuff too, y'all. Just for the record.
No, I heard him say wilder than that.
Exactly.
That is wild. That's a wild statement.
Like,
so other than Mixer sucking, like, do y'all think like this xCloud X streaming thing gonna work? Like, that's what I really want to get at. Like,
not in America.
Yeah.
In Europe and Japan and Korea might be
but they can't even. They can't even sell 100,000 Xboxes in Japan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just saying, with our internet structure in America, it's not gonna work. It worked for people in New York, in Atlanta, in LA, in every other big city. But after that, nah, it ain't working for them.
Yeah, and then the crazy part is they take Game Pass and they make it a PC thing. So it's like they are literally killing the Xbox brand. Like, why would you buy Xbox when you can just save up your money and buy a PC?
Phil Spencer said he wants his games on every platform. Did y'all think he was joking? Did y'all think he was kidding? Did you think he didn't know what every platform meant? No, he's not stupid. He said what he wanted to say. He said what he needs to say. He said, I want it on every platform. That means every platform.
So,
Xbox.
So in y'all's opinion, y'all just thinking that like Xbox really ain't gonna really focus on Xbox anymore. They're gonna focus on proliferating these games everywhere.
Well, like, think about it this way. That's like him saying, I want to feed everybody, right? I want everybody in the entire world to be fed. Right?
Okay.
That doesn't mean you're going to get the same quality of food.
That's fair.
True.
That's a very good assessment. Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
You're not. And so, as a Xbox user, you will not get the same quality of food as somebody who is on PC. Specifically because their PC is... It can be anything where you are constricted to your Xbox.
And as a person who streams their games, you're not going to get the same quality as somebody who has an Xbox.
No.
Because they actually got the hardware
and then
streaming it.
On your region. Depending on your region, depends on whether you get the support you think you deserve. If you're in Japan, most likely you're not going to buy an Xbox anyway. So even if people bought an Xbox in Japan for whatever reason, the developers don't support Xbox, don't support Microsoft, stuff like that. They barely even make multi-plat stuff. They don't mess with them. They don't care. The countries that can actually use it are not going to. They're not.
Okay.
Damn, that's depressing.
It kind of is.
I mean, there's no reason.
Because that to me yields no competition to Sony, because Sony is completely they're completely committed to having a whole console system. And I was like, Xbox would be a nice competition piece for them, because it seems like Nintendo's going towards the hybrid and they trying to have their own lane. So it looks like Sony next generation gonna be the only company really dedicated to having a home console, and that's the only thing. Like, you can only play it here, and then some of our games you can play on PC, but it's like less than 10%. So
all I want to know is, when did the narrative change from nobody wants to stream? Nobody wants to stream games on PSN, on PS Now. I mean, and now all of a sudden, we want to stream games on xCloud. I don't know where this narrative shift at.
Jerron, Xbox fans in on themselves just want to feel loved and want to have the narrative go their way. So they're willing to move the goalposts at any move and any turn, because in order for themselves to feel like they're going to be on the cutting edge of next generation. It's kind of like the Red Dead Redemption 2 talk. Like, they really think
we can get that. We can get to that in a second.
Okay, I'll save that.
I'm not sure.
Xbox feels as though, like, they don't have great first party exclusives or critically acclaimed exclusives. They don't have a high selling console. Like, they've really have dropped the ball since 2011. If we just really want to, like, be honest, they haven't really been that brand for 8 years, and they've gotten their teeth kicked in at every moment. So these guys, these dummies, these little boys have, in their head, they're loyal to these brands, and they don't want to move where the games are. Like, it's going to be funny to see Xbox fans really talk about these first party studios, because these first party studios are literally going to try to copy everything Sony did this generation. It's going to be nothing but third person cinematic first single player experiences. That's literally all Xbox is trying to get, because they realize that is where gaming's at. Phil Spencer, when he said that single player games are like not the move, should have been the red alarm, or the alarm to go off in everybody's head that has Xbox, to like get out of this brand as quick as possible, because all they're about to focus on is gaming services, multiplayer, and the proliferation of their services on every platform they can find. Nobody wants to play Halo on a stupid iPhone 20. Nobody wants to do that.
And that's the other thing, is that they know what they're doing when it comes to trying to force multiplayer, because they're not allowing you to have couch co-op, couch multiplayer. They're forcing it to be online exclusively, so that you and your friend both have to have a console, both have to have the subscription, both have to have the game. They're not allowing you to just, hey, buddy, I have an Xbox. Why don't you come over? I also have an extra controller. No, you can't do that. They don't want that, because they're not getting the money from it, from that other person playing the game. They want to make sure every person that touches that game, they're getting money off of.
Right. It's all about how much money they can make. I mean, I think that's going to be the new thing that Xbox fans are going to clamor over. It's not how many consoles they sold or how many good games they have. It's going to be how much money Microsoft makes.
They're already doing that. What do you mean? It's not a future thing. That's a right now thing.
Yeah, but see, this is the funny thing, Jerron, is like Sony Gaming is still kicking their teeth in. Microsoft this is what Microsoft fans have to understand. Microsoft as a brand in on itself, excluding Xbox, is a pop cultural fabric of how we operate in our everyday lives. Nobody, it's like an omnipresent thing. Everybody knows what Windows is. Everybody knows what Windows 10 is. Everybody knows this. I don't really care that you want to slurp up Microsoft. Go ahead. Bill Gates is right there with his pants down, willing to take your money. Go ahead. Go ahead. I don't really care. They don't change the fact that y'all don't have the best place to play games. And I can care less about the X being the best place to play console games. Because guess what? I can play that game that you're talking about on a PlayStation. So, what are we talking about?
All I gotta say is that literally 1 year ago, that's it, just 1 year.
Yeah.
Literally, people said, "Oh,
streaming Game
Pass." No. They said Game Pass is better because I can download the game and I don't have to stream it because streaming games is trash. Ask players now.
Right.
And then it's only been a year, only 1 year. They said, Microsoft said, oh, we got xCloud. And everybody's like, oh, we streaming games now. We so cool. Y'all, this is the way in the future y'all gonna be behind.
It's not the way.
I'm just like, what? Like, I understand that you're saying, oh, they're fanboys and they're going with it, but even fanboys gotta have some type of sense. Nobody's that stupid.
No.
I don't want to believe it.
Jerron, that's the thing. That's why I'm so hard on consumers and just gamers in general. Jerron, you would think they would have sense. Like, most of the people talking this are older than us. That's the scary part. And they don't have a lick of business sense or a lick of common sense. To start off with, Jerron, it's always to flex. Like, this generation is always to flex, to clout chase. So they want to be where the hottest thing, the littest thing is. And so if that means I got to make Xbox the littest thing ever by lying, I'm going to do that. Now, Jake Emmanuel Taylor, 24, is mature enough, old enough not to lie about something as trivial as gaming.
Dox yourself.
Do you know how corny and lame you got to be to lie about gaming? You like, I got Google, fam. I can like look this stuff up. Like that's the thing with gamers. Like they get on Twitter and they lie, and it's like, I can just go look this up. Why lie? Why?
Oh yeah, people like,
and that's why I'm like,
I used to looks it up and give you the facts.
I used to love and fuck with the Xbox community, and I can't now because y'all are a whole bunch of Trump supporters when it comes to goddamn gaming. And yes, I said it.
Oh, here we go.
Yes, I said it. Y'all will believe in alternate reality to make yourself feel better. And what I got to say is that's the dumbest thing you can ever do. It's gaming. It's a hobby. It's escapism. Get over it. You loser. You dork.
You know what's funny?
Damn.
Is that, and I was having this conversation with Jerron and Mukumi before we got on this. It was how Soul Calibur in particular. The reason why most of the people who got Soul Calibur weren't that excited about Geralt being in the game is because it's not the target demographic. The target demographic for The Witcher is not the same demographic for Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
But the second they said, hey, 2B's in the game, everybody was like, yo, I'm about to buy this game. I'm about to buy this character. They were in it. They wanted her. Why? Because it's the same demographic. The people who are buying their Xbox, even if they got the games the PlayStation got, they wouldn't care about them because the demographic has already been isolated so much that they're not going to want those kind of games. If you wanted those kind of games, Nier Automata, I don't know, Fairy Fencer, Persona, Bloodborne, you would go and get a PS4.
No, but that's not the case, Mukela. The problem with Xbox fans is they want the same experience Sony fans have right now on the Xbox. They don't want to go buy a PlayStation.
No, y'all both are right. Jake is right. Yeah. They don't want to buy a PlayStation. But at the same time,
they don't want to get on Twitter and say, hey, I bought Spider-Man on the PlayStation, and have a whole bunch of Sony fans being like, well, I thought you were for Xbox though, right? They don't want to get trolled.
But at the same time, they don't want the same type of games that PlayStation.
They don't.
Because
they do.
Literally,
but they
Xbox, do. No, because Xbox fans literally, when you got Persona 5 and Nier at first, they like, we don't want that Jap trash anyway. We want Halo, Gears of Wars. But that's what they said. They don't want the same type of game. The reason why
I'm just saying they really need to stop saying that because that comes off as very, very bigoted. But go ahead.
Yes, it is.
They don't care. They're Americans.
They don't care.
We're the best country, remember? Like that's
bigoted. Like, don't say that. That's very offensive.
I didn't mean to be offensive. It's just,
no, not you, Jerron. You just stating what they say. I'm just saying that's what like Sony fans keep saying. Them like y'all are like offending a whole country that y'all desperately want y'all product to be in and be successful in, but y'all like make fun of the games. Don't make sense.
Exactly, but they don't want those games. They want the first part. They want Halo, Gears, and Forza. That's what they want. They want games like Halo. They want games like Gears. They want games like Forza.
Well, Jerron, I'll go even further than that. They don't even want the games. They just want the critical acclaim that comes from the games. They don't care how good it is. They just want a God of War for them.
That's
They
fair.
don't care how good the game is, how good it plays, if you have fun or not, what's the pros and cons of the game. They just want a whole month where they can go up to Sony fans and be like, we have the best game out right now.
They're
But
doing that right now with Red Dead
Gears of
Redemption
War,
2.
what is
But
supposed
yeah,
to
they're
be the
doing
God of
it
War.
right now with Red Dead Redemption 2. And what they don't understand is I can go buy it on any platform.
You can, but the best place to play it is the Xbox
and I think
One.
I think that's horse crap, because I listened to the Digital Foundry video and they're like, yeah, it's the best, but the performance drop off is so minuscule that it doesn't matter.
But they just want you to say that the best place to play it graphically, because the performance is comparable between the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro. The performance is the same, but graphically, it's actually native 4K on the X. So technically, if you take all the aspects of the game, Xbox One X plays the game the best. That's all they want you to say. That's all they want to hear. They don't care about none of the other facts. They don't want to hear it. At the end of the day, they have the best place to play it, and that's all they care about.
Now, there's someone somewhere that's an Xbox fan that just closed the topic saying that's all I need to hear. We're good.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I need to hear. That's all they want to hear. Xbox One X.
And think about how
4K, Red Dead, and PlayStation does it. So we have the best place to play. That's all they care about.
It's gonna look real. It's gonna look real spooky next generation when they can't say that.
But we ain't got there yet. They only care about here and now.
Especially when you don't have the games and you don't have the power, it's gonna look really.
They bought studios. They're gonna say, "Yo, wait till E3. We're gonna have the games."
I mean,
That's
just look at what happened.
Like
with Call of Duty, though. Like Call of Duty is a perfect example. They are like, we gonna kind of walk over to these Sony boys because they got the money right now.
Exactly.
They were all
Red Dead Redemption is advertised through Sony, not Xbox.
Yeah.
Sony has the advertising rights to Red Dead Redemption too.
Yeah.
But
it's selling more and it's reviewed better on this PlayStation. It is. The Metacritic score went up. I don't think Xbox fans really saw that.
But. And then they said they also say because PS4 HDR doesn't look as good as Xbox. They're like, Xbox got HDR, you don't.
I mean, like, do you think about how stupid that sounds? Oh,
they don't care if that sounds stupid. It does sound stupid, but they don't care. They got the best version. They on that high horse right now.
They don't care, and that's why I'm like, you're just a bunch of dorks. Like, you're a bunch of dorks. Like, I hope your Xbox dies. Really.
Oh, Jay, don't just get ready, because when Red Dead Redemption 2 wins Game of the Year, just get ready. Because they're gonna say,
God, what other games came out this year?
God of War,
Spider-Man, God of War, Monster Hunter World, Dragon Ball Fighters.
Days Gone. No, not Days Gone. Detroit Become Human.
We have some bangers come out this year.
We have some bangers come out this year. I don't think. Hey, look, I played
bangers.
Look, no.
Yeah.
I'll say so. This is the thing. I went. We're gonna go ahead and transition to Red Dead 2. I went to go play Red Dead 2 at my cousin's house on the PlayStation because he has a Pro, and I played it, and I was like, I am not buying this game because this is just Red Dead Redemption, but on a different generation console. Like, this is not fun. That game.
Oh, there's so many people that would disagree with you. I know people that literally play that game like 5 hours a day. That's all they play.
People could play Catan for 5 hours.
So the day, like Jerron, like the only thing about that game that is like wowed me is the graphics and the sheer attention to detail that Rockstar gave the game. For a Western game, I think that Red Dead 1 is better than Red Dead 2 for a narrative perspective. Because he was a little bit further along. He's about like 40, 50 hours in. Like, my cousin grinds. He's in high school, so he don't got no damn homework. He just come home and play games for goddamn 5 hours. So he put in work. And he got up there, and like I went over there and I played it for like 4 hours, and I was like, this is okay. It's okay. There is such thing as too much realism in the game, and that game meets that criteria.
Yeah, like I said, I don't want to play a license.
Like, that game meets that criteria. Like the whole feeding aspect, all that is cool, but the whole like it's the whole meeting strangers and then having to blow their brains out every time. Like, why is everybody in the Wild West so ornery?
None of them are black. Wow.
Oh no.
No, I'm serious. Like, there's so many for a cowboy game to have so little black people in it. It just like that. That was probably it's weird as that to be the first thing, as the first reason why I wouldn't buy. Yeah, it's the first reason why I wouldn't even like mess with the game. We're trying to be
like John Wayne.
Like,
pretty much, John. That's like a good. Yeah, it's John Wayne.
Yeah, it's John Wayne. That's perfect. And the thing is that that's like having. Oh, remember the Beauty and the Beast movie? How there was some rich black women. That's like doing that. That shit don't make no sense. How you gonna have rich black women in Europe in Beauty and the Beast time, but you're not gonna have black people in cowboy days? How the hell you do that? How did we devolve? like that. Like, come on.
It's facts. It's facts. The majority of cowboys are black in American history. The majority of cowboys were Native Americans and black. White people were not working the ranch. They owned the ranch.
They owned the ranch. Like, what?
They owned it. Black people worked.
Do we know what year it takes place? I'm just curious.
1899.
1899. Okay.
Yes. Red Dead Redemption 1 takes place in 1911.
Oh, so the first one takes place in 19.
Yeah, it's a prequel.
Yeah, it's a prequel. Red Dead Redemption 2 is a
prequel. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So like went backwards.
Yes. This is like a young John Marston. Like, he's in his gang. Like, in Red Dead Redemption 1, he was like a retired outlaw who was just living with his family, and then his ex gang members got like powerful and rich and like kind of like kidnapped his family and held them hostage while he did their bidding. And that was like Red Dead Redemption 1. Red Dead Redemption 2 is to show you how it all went to shit, basically.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, nah, fam. That game is okay. But like, from what I played, it's between God of War and Spider-Man. Those are the most fun games.
I'm just telling you, when we had this video games award.
Oh, no, they're gonna give it to Red Dead. They're gonna give it to Red Dead.
Red Dead Edition 2 is gonna be game of the year because everybody on Metacritic, whatever, are literally called this game of the generation. Even over Witcher 3.
Which is nuts.
Over Witcher 3?
Wait.
Even over Witcher 3, they're saying this game is better than Witcher 3. That's literally every. They saying Red Dead Redemption 2 is game of the generation.
It's the game of the generation.
Y'all, I'm no.
And this
Americans sleep so hard on international games. I could give a shit less what they say.
For real, bro. Like, the gaming awards have become an award show that comes down to three. It either comes down to 2 or 3 massive first party games that we knew were coming years in advance and were being worked on by big time studios, and they are like the crown jewel of that platform. Like, they are never like out of pocket things, right? Just like last year, didn't Horizon Zero Dawn win it?
No.
What? Really? That trash hole of a game won anything?
No, it didn't win. Mario Odyssey. Was it Mario Odyssey?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Is it a Mario Odyssey or Breath of the Wild? One of the two.
Like, see, that's what I'm saying. No shots at Nintendo, huh?
Nah.
Well, you gotta think I think it was Zelda that one, and you gotta remember when Zelda came out. When Zelda came out, they were literally calling that game a masterpiece, even though it's not even the best Zelda in the series. But they literally called Breath of the Wild a masterpiece.
I would say Nier Automata.
It won hands down by everything. It beat everything.
Nier Automata in itself. That game.
Yeah, it's awesome.
They have so many games. They have so many bangers come out in 2017.
Persona 5 might be the greatest JRPG ever created and got no love.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Got no love.
That got no love.
Dude, I'm gonna play.
Even Dragon Quest 11, literally, because that shit came out last year. Dragon Quest 11 came out last year. They showed that game 0 love.
No. And people are like, that's a great JRPG, and it sold twice as much as any Dragon Quest. And so that means we're getting more Dragon Quest in the West, which you should be proud of.
Yep.
But no, it's not gonna get no love. Like, you know why they like it? You know why they like it? Even though I think Rockstar is one of the best video game developer companies on the face of the planet, they like it because technically speaking, it's probably the most proficient game ever this generation. That's it.
You know what also doesn't get any love? Ace Combat.
Yo.
No, John. Ace Combat still comes out?
Yeah.
Yeah, next year.
That's a very
It's a
popular
slept-on game. Yeah, it's popular in Japan, Europe, South America. It's huge.
That game is
love Ace Combat.
That game is way better than people give credit for.
No, dude,
exactly.
I had Ace Combat 1, 2, and 3.
That game,
the seventh one. This is the seventh one we're talking.
I love Ace Combat.
Yeah,
it comes out January next year, but yeah, it's super popular, especially in Europe and South America. You'd be surprised.
Yep.
But slept on. Nobody talks about it here in the States.
See, the funny thing is we're talking about a game that none of us even own, and like we still like know so much about Red Dead, and it's kind of like I think GTA is a way more fun game.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it's a better game. It's just a way more fun game. Like, it's no disrespect to the Western setting. Like, I like the Western setting. It's just, to me, I think Rockstar uses Red Dead to see how far they can push the tech. And then they use Grand Theft Auto to see how far they can push the narrative. And I think Grand Theft Auto 6 will be their crown jewel, in my opinion. Because I played it, and I was like, the controls are clunky. Like, you can't be the game of the generation, and people have, like, I was listening to Colin Moriarty has a podcast, Sacred Symbols, a PlayStation podcast, and he was talking about, like, he played the game, and he was like, yeah, the game's great, and I would probably give it my game of the year, but he's like, it's nuts that it's going to get game of the year, and it has significant mechanical problems. You can't give something a game of the year.
There's input lag.
That don't mean nothing.
The glitches, bro. Your horse just catches on fire.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Or they made the action button the same button as when you pull out your gun. So people be trying to like do a quest or whatever. Then they accidentally pull their gun at the NPC, and then they get bounties put on them or a shootout happens. And they're like, "Yo, I was just
some Westworld shit." That's some Westworld shit right there.
Yeah. Okay. So
that shooting mechanics are trash.
Right. So this was funny. So there was this dude on Twitter, and he was complaining about, yeah, man, I ran my horse into somebody, and then the NPC got mad because I ran my horse into me, and then they chased me for 10 minutes across the map, and then I got a bounty put on my head, and I had to pay the bounty off. And I was
my God.
And then the funny thing is, I was like, I quoted his tweet, and I was like, this is so rich coming from people who think this game is great when that is like a literal feature in every Rockstar game. And he was like, what do you mean, man? That's not realistic. You ran a 3-ton animal into somebody in 1899 Western United States with no laws and with a bunch of guns, and you just thought they're going to be like, why?
I thought he said his horse accidentally hit somebody.
No, he said he ran his horse. He asked, but Jaron, even if you accidentally,
a lot of people are actually complaining about that because they said you be in the city and it accidentally touches the character and then they put a bounty.
Jaron, how do you accidentally move your horse into somebody?
I don't know, because you just said the game is glitchy, so it probably glitches.
Okay, but see, this is the thing. It can be an accident, but don't get mad when the NPC reacts. That is literally a Rockstar feature. You can't run your car. It's kind of like in GTA. You can't go up and punch somebody. Right? You can knock out chicks. I've seen it happen.
Yeah, you can. Oh, you should have seen my record.
You hit the wrong person. Yo,
they get mad. They start pulling the guns out. Yeah,
that is a Rockstar feature. How
especially
you mad at that?
Especially when you go into especially when you play as what's the guy's name? BJ or whatever, the black guy. When you go to his hood, Franklin. Yeah, Franklin. When you go to his hood, like I've done it too. You go up to some random dude, you just hit him in the face, right? But they retaliate back because then they start squaring up on you.
Yeah, like it's
I
crazy.
don't play Rockstar games besides Midnight Club, so I don't know.
Yeah, like you can't accidentally run your horse into somebody and then be like, they gonna be like, why, mister? Why did you hit me with your animal? Like, no.
Why, mister? Why did you hit your animal?
Nobody's gonna say that in 1899 Western. They gonna
pull out the strap.
They're gonna pull the hammer out and put it in your face and be like, why'd you do that? And they gonna shoot.
Yeah.
You should have got chased across the map. Controlling motherfucker. You know what? Never mind. You can't play games. How about that?
He should just admit that he pushed the wrong button or something like that. I don't know. I know this time.
I can't believe somebody complained about a Rockstar game having the NPCs fight you,
chase you.
Like literally, that's what Rockstar games do.
Yeah. Yep.
To be,
I will. I'm not gonna lie. When I played GTA, there was like these dudes on the porch, so I just like shot at one of them, and they all pulled out their guns, and I'm like, okay, all right, this is a GTA, this is a Rockstar game for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
You shot a dude on his stoop.
Do that. It's built to be cautious about how you go into interactions with people. Like they built it that way. They built it to the point where you just can't go max out your character in Red Dead Redemption 2, get all the hammers and all the yammers and all the choppers you want and go into a town and spray it up without somebody coming to kill you. No.
There's a game for that, and that game is banned.
What game is that?
Yikes.
I was gonna say Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
No, I forget what it's called. It's called Hate, I think.
Yeah, Hatred or something like that.
Yeah, you can do that.
It was on Steam.
That's all you do is literally run around and kill people mindlessly in that game.
Literally, like your character is a very depressed dude that want to kill himself, but before he killed himself, he got killed a whole bunch of people.
Wow.
That's literally the point.
So it's basically teaching people. Wow.
It's basically Obito the game.
Obito the game. Oh shit!
And it was like when it came out, like people went against it so hard that it's banned now. You can't even play.
Because they thought that it was training people to be like a school shooter or something like that. Is that what it was?
Basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
The only thing that trains you to be a school shooter is bad parenting.
After they have a game that's literally
that's
called,
true.
Like, they actually have a game out on Steam that got banned too. It's called Active Shooter or something like that, where you literally play as a character that goes to school.
Jerome making this up.
No.
Go look it up.
I heard about that.
Go look it up. Go look it up.
I heard about that somewhere.
The whole purpose of the game where you're a disgruntled student and you go to school and you shoot the whole school. That's literally the game.
That's going too far. That's going way too far. That's going way too far.
But what? Like,
my reaction.
Playing as like a mercenary in a battlefield, that's one thing. But then playing as an active shooter.
You're literally an active shooter that goes. You after shooter, you go into the school and you wipe out the whole school. That's the whole game.
The alternative game to Bully.
Damn. Basically. Yeah. It's like Bully. If Bully had guns in there.
Okay.
My profile picture is my reaction to that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. That's perfect.
All right.
But of course, that game is banned too. It didn't even release. I don't think
it should be. Man.
They was like, nah, fam, nah, you can't, nah.
Yo,
that's over the top.
No, seriously. Imagine your whole dream in life is to be a game developer, and then you spend your whole adolescence and young adult life going to college to get this gaming degree, and then you go to a developer and you literally develop a game about an active shooter, and then you have the nerve to go do a pitch meeting with a publisher and you play that game in front of them.
Well, I think it was published.
Why did it get accepted? Why did somebody back it in the first place?
Steam, you can put out if you know how to make a game, you can put anything on Steam.
Yeah.
Like imagine
it wasn't made by a big developer, publisher, or anything. It was literally some dude made a game and he was gonna put it on Steam.
Yeah, Jerome, but my thing still stands. Like, what makes you think that was going to like work?
Because they wanted the attention, because all attention, bad attention is good attention.
It's kind of like that guy at TwitchCon where he said that he was better than other people. I remember I was talking to my friend.
Who, Ice Poseidon?
Nah, it's a different dude. Also, don't say his name too much. You might get that like fucking kicked off. That nigga. But so I forget his name, but he was like, I think I wouldn't want to do a meet and greet with my fans because I think I'm just generally.
Oh,
I saw that.
I saw that clip. I saw that clip. Yeah, he thinks he's better than them.
See, but
wait, what?
The thing is that, but he's smart for. You know why he's smart for that? Because he has
got
a small
attention.
Twitch. Exactly, he has a
And it
small
blew
Twitch
up.
channel, and he blew up. He's smart for that. He knew what he did.
It's kind of like Tekashi 6ix9ine. You say the stupid shit and you troll and all that stuff. You get a hell of attention, and then you get the numbers up. You make it on the billboard.
Yeah.
Wait. Before we get into the next topic, like he literally like went on Twitch and said, "I would do it."
No. This was at a convention.
He was at a panel.
A panel.
He got on panel.
And he said to the fans because he thinks he's better than them. Like he's like some type of god. Like I'm on a different level. I'm here and you're below me and all that stuff. He pretty much put his fans down on a different level. So
wait, he wouldn't meet with them because he thinks he's better than them.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
I'm telling you, bro. It's really spooky to have that type of energy on the internet because somebody can hack your Twitch account and fuck your shit up.
Hack your Twitch account. Dr. Disrespect got people shooting at his damn house.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, right? Yep, that too.
Twice.
I was trying to keep it, but yeah. I feel like people would have fought him. People would have fought.
They wouldn't have fought him. They would have knocked on his door with a pizza and had a gun under the pizza. Oh shit! I'm giving people ideas. Delete that.
Yeah.
Right,
the FBI scoping our channel out.
Eviscerate my comment.
All right, guys. So the last topic of the day is going to be a continuation of this conversation that we were having in the main group chat that we have. And
all the hentai and shit that I was posting.
No. Not that.
I hate you so much right now.
Hey, you can go back and take all. There's a lot of pictures you can download. So I'm just saying.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I'm not saying we're endorsing this, but we're endorsing this. Anyways.
We were talking about why multiplayers are fun for y'all. And let me just like kind of clarify what I was saying. My not issue, but what I'm trying to understand is if Destiny 2 in on itself is a okay game.
Mm-hmm.
And the only good experience you have from that game is playing with your friends. Mm-hmm. Does that make it a good game? That is the question I was trying to ask.
Interesting.
Because you usually play games because they are good or fun because they are just fun, not because you have fun with your friends. Even if it is a multiplayer, you have fun because the content of the game itself is good, not because you have fun with your friends.
It's not.
I was trying to figure out, but no, hold on. I was just trying to figure out, is that a product of an MMO? Is that a product of an RPG that has multiplayer elements? Like, and then I was trying to figure out what stops Destiny from having the story that Bungie marketed for having. Because y'all were saying in the group chat that you can't have a good story with that type of gameplay. By the way, Bungie and a whole bunch of professional players themselves have kept trying to tell people it's not an MMO. As MMO elements, it is not an MMO. Having 4 to 6 players is not an MMO.
Yeah.
It's not. Guys, I looked this stuff up. Like, I looked it up after the conversation.
No, I'm saying yeah because I agree.
Yeah, no. I'm telling Jerron and Bakumi because that's like, and you too, Mukela and John, because y'all play multiplayer more than I do. Like,
I don't play it as much. I'm more of a single player kind of guy.
Well, like I am, but I can understand. I understand why multiplayer is attractive. I don't understand why y'all think a game is so and it's good just because you play with everybody.
See, here's my thing, right?
Because if the game in on itself is an innate,
let me go first because since I was in the comment section. Okay, the thing about Destiny is that one in its totality, yeah, it's an okay game, but one, the mechanics of the game make you come back because Destiny has great FPS mechanics in it. It's like one of like when you shoot like when it comes to shooting games, it's one of the best feeling shooting games you can play at this moment.
Okay.
2, with the story. The story is good enough where you care about the characters, and each character have their own set personality. That's why you would hit on like me. Like Akumi loves Shax, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't really care for Zavala because they make their characters have distinct personalities.
Okay.
So
this does not sound like a so-so game. It sounds like a good game, by the way.
So the story doesn't go in depth, but it's not a bad story at the same time.
Okay.
So but the reason why Destiny is so fun is that you play with your friends. Because if you don't have the friend aspect, you're not going to play Destiny at all. Because I played Destiny 1, I had nobody to play with. So after a week of playing Destiny 1, I didn't play the game no more.
Yeah, like when I got my PS4, I literally picked up Destiny 2 with Drawn and Wolf and play with them. If I didn't pick it up with them, I wouldn't have any like desire to play it because after like I get to like level 20, it's like, okay, now what?
Okay.
Once you finish the story, you would be like, now what? But the story is only like 10% of
the game. Yeah.
The rest of it is the random events that happen that you gotta work with your fire team, is what they call them, their fire team, which is 3 people, or the raids, which is 6 people, or Crucible that was just the PvP mode, which is 4 people. But in everything else they have in the game, when you're playing with your friends, you got stuff to do, and it's literally like you're hanging out with your friends, but in a virtual world, because there is it's a first person shooter, but it is third person mode on it. So you can see your characters, you can customize your characters. If you go to the tower, they got stupid mini games you play where they like this big old bouncy ball you can hit, or they got like don't touch the floor is lava challenge and stuff like that. So it's really like you can hang out with your friends in a virtual setting. And since we're not all in high school anymore or in college anymore, where we can just hang out with each other whenever, it's literally like, yo, I get to hang out with my friends at the house. I don't have to go nowhere. I don't have to spend any money besides buying the game. It's a cool hangout, and you do stupid stuff with your friends. You make moments that become inside jokes, because I'm pretty sure me, Wolf, Bakumi, and Vincent could go and have mad inside jokes, and nobody else in the group would get it because they weren't there.
But does that make the game good? Like the game itself, does that make the game good? Or does the experience that the game give you is good?
See,
yeah, but doesn't make the game. But this ain't not a bad
games. I think some games, the way that they are made, you only get the full experience of the game with playing with other people. For example, if you play a fighting game,
okay,
you play the story of the game, you beat it. You played arcade, you beat it. You played all the other modes, you beat it. So now you're thinking, why else would I continue to play this game? You play it now with your friends. And as you play with your friends, let's say you want to get better at the game. And now you're competing with your friends as you get better at the game over time. That's the reason why multiplayer games survive for so long. Single player games only survive until whether they have a great story, whether you beat it,
Persona,
whether you can go back to it more than once. Because I could go back and play Dot Hack Sign and GU over and over again, and they never change. But the game is that good that I would play them again. And the story is that good that I'd play it again. There's no multiplayer in it. Some games don't have stories that are good enough to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But in exchange, you get the ability to replay the game based off of you playing it with other people. If I couldn't play Dragon Ball or Guilty Gear or any of these games with other people, the game would stop after arcade and story mode. because fighting games used to be that. They used to be, oh, you're the person by yourself, you're fighting, it's a side scroller. Then it turned into two people fighting, and it's a side scroller. Then it turned into you just fighting the computer, and then it turned into one-on-one. It evolved into that. So that's the same with these FPS games, because they went from being the single player shooter to be the story driven, or actually no, it was like a mindless rail shooter. Then it went to being story driven. Then it went to being side by side, and then it went to being against each other. This is the evolution of that. So the evolution has changed the meaning of what makes the game good to play.
Yeah, even just going off of that too, Jake. When you ask if a game is good, honestly, I have to judge games differently, whether they're single player games versus like games you're made to play with your friends. Like,
yeah,
if I'm talking about a game like Kingdom Hearts,
but guys, that's the thing. I was never questioning that. I was never comparing them to single player games. They're terrible. They're terrible single player games.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to figure out why is the component of playing with your friend trumping. Is the game good or not? Because that's interesting to me, and that is something that's new to gaming since technologies has risen, and that's something that fascinates me because that is a quality that you can't like touch.
or
like quantify. Like I was never crapping on it. It's interesting to me that you can take a game that y'all say has some flaws to it, right, and then you play it, and because you have fun with your friends, it's good and entertaining to you. When usually so games would be just okay to you.
Yeah, because Destiny's 2 mechanics are good enough where as long as you're playing with your friends, it's not a bad game. Destiny 2 is not a bad game. It's just I wouldn't call it a good game either. It's an average game. And it just makes it fun because you hang out with your friends and you do quests together. And every time you go and do a quest and get the powerful gun or whatever, it makes you feel good.
Okay.
Yeah. See, I have a different take on it. Right now, my thing is that. So I'm gonna use the fighting game example again. I can play Dragon Ball by myself, sit in training mode, lab stuff out, learn the game, more of the game. I can do that with any other fight. If there's a fighting game I truly enjoy, I can sit there and play it by myself. That's how I know I truly like a game, when I don't need anybody else around. But my thing is that if I have to be around another person to play the game and enjoy the game, that is a crutch to me.
Yes. See, okay, McKay, you are getting where I'm getting at.
Okay, let me say this.
Crutch?
Okay, let me say this.
That is the thing I was trying to get y'all to see. Is that a crutch?
Okay, let me tell you. In Destiny, no, because if I need to grind something up on myself, I can do it. In Fortnite, yes, it's a crutch. I don't want to play Fortnite by myself.
Yeah, I've played
that makes sense.
for a while. Like it's
in Destiny, I can literally, if I want a powerful weapon bad enough, I can literally get on Destiny and play with myself for a couple hours to get that weapon. I had no problem playing the game. If I want to grind out challenges in Fortnite, if I ain't playing with Mukela or Vincent, I ain't playing the game. I'll just wait till they get on.
Like, okay, let me check.
So does that make the game good?
See, that's where I can't definitively.
It's such. See, you see how interesting that gets.
Yeah.
That's all I was saying, guys. This is literally it. I can't do anything in the group chat. I can't get y'all to understand. Thank you, Mukela, for doing this because he just did it in like two, 3 sentences. He did it. Like, is the game good or not? Because single player games suffer from that. If the story ain't good for a single player game,
it's trash.
It's trash.
Yeah.
So if I gotta play with my friends, is the game good?
See,
Fortnite says it. See, the Fortnite is not the right game to use.
Games on themselves, games like the way Bungie marketed Destiny was the way that Anthem's being marketed. I can play by myself, but they will prefer you to play with your friends.
Am I gonna?
To me, that's a shortcut. That is a shortcut. You didn't make a game good enough to if a single person sits down and play that game, it's great. And then when they play with their friends, that greatness is shared amongst the friends. Does that make any sense? So that's why I was asking y'all, why can't Destiny's story be better? Y'all literally said that cannot work. And I'm like, why not?
Because
I was gonna say they've tried to make it better the second time.
Forsaken's story is better than the regular Destiny 2.
Yeah, the first,
but
the first
it's only better because the character everybody likes died.
Damn, they did kill him.
Yeah.
They killed 6.
Oh yeah.
So like that's why the story's better
That's
because
nuts.
they went.
he died in the most recent expansion.
Yeah, they went killed him, and then your job was literally to avenge him. So it made the story better. But at the end of, if you take the two stories, they're basically kind of the same thing. It's just that they made the story, they made the lore better.
Okay. The thing is that it seems like, again, it's the concept of what is more important, the story or the gameplay.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
The gameplay is good enough to play by itself.
And the problem is that some games have a stronger story than they do gameplay.
Amen.
And vice versa. And some have both.
Right.
But in my you have to have, for me to consider you a good game, you have to have both. You don't have both.
Amen. Yes.
Normally that would be true. In the case of Fortnite is such a unique game. I can't necessarily say that.
Well, Jerron, I think Fortnite is
good.
a battle royale. So in on itself, the mechanics would change, which would forcibly change the gameplay and the story. There's no
Fortnite put a mechanic in the game that literally gives you a different experience every time. Every time you play Fortnite,
it's different.
It's different because your experience depends on, one, how many people you run to. Two, what's the skill level of the people you're running to. Because I can go between one dude that is like Vincent, where he doesn't know how to build, but he's a very good shooter. So I have to fight him differently. And then in that same game, after I get done with him, I can run into a whole different other person that's not really good at shooting, but he has the best building skill ever. So it makes it a whole different experience. So every game is literally a different experience.
Yeah, I wouldn't put Fortnite and Destiny 2 in the same vicinity. I think Fortnite's a completely separate conversation. I'm just focused on something like Anthem and like Destiny 2. These games in which get hyped up, right? As like everybody wants to play them because of the multiplayer aspect. And I don't crap on multiplayer games, but I do think they are cheap in which they make the player make the experience instead of them for 6 years making a game that is good. It makes you experience stuff.
It's easier to develop gameplay mechanics off of an already initial gameplay.
I have one question.
Right.
With that in mind, I have one question. Is Minecraft a good game?
I don't know. Like that's a very good question. I would say no.
Is Little Big Planet a good game?
I would say if you're really good at that traversal at playing by yourself, then yeah. But it's really kind of impossible to play Little Big Planet by yourself. So no.
You can't.
The game to me, gaming is you play by yourself and then you have the option to play with others.
That works in the 1996.
No, Jerome,
early 2000s. But gaming has changed to the point where it doesn't have to necessarily be that anymore.
But that's false. But that's false. It has made you think that. Single player games will always be the way gaming, the foundation of it. It will always be that way. Well, Phil Spencer was smoking that one year where he said single player games are kind of obsolete. He was smoking crack.
I'm not saying they're obsolete. I'm just saying there's two different sides of gaming now.
Here's my problem though. Okay. See, now when I put video games in the same category that I put movies in terms of the media you like to digest, right?
Right.
So if you want the problem is that it's harder for movies to be successful now because you have gaming being its major competitor in terms of media being consumed. Now, when you look and TV, and now when you look at, I'm gonna have this multiplayer game. The game has no story whatsoever. Here's the game. Play it with your friends, whatever. Right? Here's my thing. the way you look at Fortnite is different than the way you look at let's say Destiny. But you have to weigh and balance the cost of what it took to get the experience that you had. It took you $180 for you to get the experience you had for Destiny.
Oh, more like
60.
Yes.
60.
No, because 60 plus DLC plus DLC plus DLC.
Oh,
PlayStation gave us the game for free.
You think we played?
Wait, including the DLC, they gave you all that for free?
No, guys. I'm talking
about a regular
consumer. Yes.
Okay.
Somebody who bought the game, right?
Yeah, that's what kills everything. DLC.
I hope consumers get as savvy as y'all. Lord knows they need it.
But here's the thing, right? $180 of like let's say person bought it. They bought the DLC.
All the DLC expansion packs.
Let's just assume they bought it day one.
Yikes!
Right? Yikes! Exactly. It takes $180 for you to get the experience you had for that game.
That's 2 games right there worth a little bit over.
That's three.
Three.
I don't even knock you for that. That means you really love that game and rock out, bro. Have fun.
But Fortnite is a free game.
It's free. Mm-hmm.
And now with Fortnite being a free game, the thing is that Fortnite as a free game does not need to have a story to warrant you downloading the game because the game is free. You don't pay anything necessarily to play said game.
True.
You're God, what is it called? God damn it. It was on the tip of my tongue.
What are you looking for?
Something cost.
Opportunity cost?
Yes, thank you. Your opportunity cost.
You're so smart.
For that, thank you. My God, you knew what I wanted to say. Your opportunity cost for that game, for getting that free game for the experience you had, is so low in comparison for the opportunity cost that you had to get the experience for Destiny. So that's the only way you can compare those games in terms of how much did it take for me to get the experience that I wanted. Now, you don't want to play Destiny by yourself. I mean, not Destiny. You don't want to play Fortnite by yourself. Fortnite does not have enough to do that, but it doesn't make you pay to do anything in the game. You don't have to pay to do anything. You can pick it up and leave it however you please. But your obligation is different when you pay for something because now you bought Destiny. You're like, you're going to want to fulfill that obligation and feel like you got your money's worth out of it, even if you have to dig deep just to find that. Like when you vote, you have to dig deep and think, man, was this worth it? Was this person worth my vote? That's the difference when it comes to those games. If the multiplayer is that good, fine. But if the story is not, and there's no story whatsoever, I can't say that game is a great game. I can't. If the multiplayer is the main factor of the game that does it, I can't say it's a great game. If the story of a game is amazing, but the gameplay is legitimately unplayable to where you can't even beat the game to finish the story because it's an unplayable game, it's not a great game.
That's true.
You have to have both.
Yeah, and to piggyback off what Mukela was saying, I wish Destiny was the best of both worlds because I think that's what they were trying to accomplish.
I don't think so.
No, that story is too average for that to be what they wanted to accomplish.
The story is slapped together.
That's the nuts part. That's the crazy part. That's Bungie. They made the first 3 Halos.
I know.
That's crazy. So like, did they just start sucking? Like
the story?
No, they don't. No, it's not
at all.
Because you can tell they put details more in the characters than they did the story.
And the story, yeah.
So they made you care about the characters without really giving you an in-depth story.
So Bakumi and Jerron,
it's a very cookie cutters like.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, John.
I was gonna say, in a way, it was kind of like when I played the first Destiny, like the story, it was kind of cookie cutter. Like it was like, oh, you did a mission. All right, now you get to move on to the next mission, kill some shit. Move on to the
Yeah,
next mission, kill some
yeah.
shit. You know, it's like a same thing. It's just a repeat.
Yeah,
So
but
I see
in
where
between,
like
And the story didn't grab you enough to make it, even if it was like that, the story wasn't interesting or intriguing enough to
well,
make you feel
I
like you're
was
progressing in the narrative.
kind of curious about like the whole darkness thing and all that shit and like the different alien races, but I wasn't like, oh my god, like it's very lore intensive. It wasn't on that Mass Effect and Dragon Age level for me when it
and
came
that's
to that
what,
story, you
Ooh,
know,
and
and
that's
it
what
wasn't like,
Dragon Age and Mass Effect. Ooh.
that's what I'm trying to say. Destiny
yeah,
keeps you. It gives you enough to keep you into it, but it's not
right,
like, oh, this is spectacular.
I
Yeah.
mean,
It gives you enough
exactly.
story where, like I said, you care about the characters and you want to know more. But they do that on purpose because they need you to care about it long enough for them to drop the DLC so you can get more
DLC
story.
exactly. Make more money. That's what
That's
completely
literally
had
their
me like
thing.
not interested. Well, that's what had me not interested in Destiny 2 because it's like, you know, Destiny 1 did the same shit with the DLC.
Yeah,
They
same thing.
sold DLC to extend, prolong it, and all that jazz. Don't get me wrong, it's nice and all to have these quests and stuff like that, and to fight Crota's father and all that shit. I get that the raid bosses and everything. That's cool, but to keep spending money and dropping money on that is ridiculous. But hey,
yeah,
that's just my opinion.
and that's the thing is that my issue in particular when it comes to Destiny is that you are in a lot of games nowadays is that you are effectively getting an incomplete game when you buy it for the first time. You're getting an incomplete game. There's no way around it. You're getting an incomplete game. This happens. This is becoming even more prominent with fighting games. You buy the fighting game. I remember when Street Fighter V first came out.
Woo!
Boy, you got the game. You
Yeah.
couldn't do anything in the game.
Jaron and Shelton would beat each other's ass in that game.
Like
No, that's Tekken. I don't play
no,
Street
but
Fighter.
that's the but like the game. This was the first fighting game, to my knowledge of recent memory, that came out the box
Had
without
nothing
an
to do.
arcade mode, and it's no arcade mode, no story mode. It have shit.
If you weren't fighting somebody online, you weren't playing the game.
You weren't playing the game. There was nothing to do in the game. There was nothing. Oh, I'm gonna go do the trial modes. I'm gonna go hit the training mode. I'm gonna go online. That was the game. That's it. There is no reason for a regular consumer who isn't somebody who's trying to either play the game professionally, competitively in any way, to buy Street Fighter V. They ignored that entire part of their audience. And guess what? You have what, 2, if not 3 season passes for this game to get the
That's
not
terrible.
only to get these characters that keep coming out. Time to get a new list of 6 new characters, and then a list of 6 new characters over and over again. The story mode didn't come in until later. Arcade mode didn't come in until later. All that stuff didn't come in until later. You didn't get that immediately. You didn't. That is what gaming is now.
That's terrible. I mean, at least Tekken.
Together.
At least
even
I will say this: at least Tekken 7 had somewhat of a story. You know,
Well, Tekken,
even though it wasn't much.
Tekken is a more narratively driven fighting game, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that makes sense.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
But even they have character packs.
But that's the thing is that Tekken was also different when it comes to Japanese fight. Actually, no. This is also what makes Street Fighter different when it came to Japanese fighting games. Japanese fighting games usually come out in Japanese arcades first.
Yep.
They don't release yet.
Mm-hmm.
Tekken, Guilty Gear, I don't care what it is.
They come out like a whole year before the game comes out.
Right. If it's a Japanese fighting game, unless it was like Dragon Ball or some of these newer games that have been coming out, they don't get arcade versions. Okay, they're not gonna get arcade versions like that. So Tekken is gonna come out with an arcade version of the game. They're gonna basically play test the game in those arcades, and then the game is gonna come out a year and a half or 2 years later, and it's gonna have the story finalized and all that other extra shit and all these other game modes if you want to play it, right? Soul Calibur is another game that, in my opinion, came off the shelf with nothing. What am I supposed to do in this game once I'm done the story mode? Play other people online, make a character with a big penis.
Oh.
Oh, have y'all not seen those
Have y'all not
videos?
seen
Like,
that?
I saw it, and
No,
I
haven't.
saw that thread on Twitter, and I quickly blocked it. I was like, no,
What?
I'm not seeing that.
You
Oh,
can,
Bakumi, you don't know?
I don't.
I didn't know either.
Oh, bruh.
Boy.
people are making like lizard characters, and they'll have like a big penis on the. I'm not even lying. They'll have a big penis. They'll use the Voldo fighting style, and they'll just be humping the air. Like,
Oh man, that's some troll ass shit.
Because for
and
some
it's
reason,
like,
Soul Calibur thought it was a good idea to let you change the penis size of your character. But
Yo,
whatever.
they literally gave gamers the
Why?
ability to have full customization.
Why? Oh my god. Mm.
and the worst part is that you can play with your custom characters in ranked.
Yep.
That's even worse. That's even worse.
And the thing that irritates me the most about that, actually, and I'm getting off a topic, sadly, but the problem is that when it comes to that, when you have a fighting game, characters have their specific sizes for a reason.
Hitboxes, yeah.
Their sizes, their hitboxes and hurt boxes are the way they are for a reason. It actually, in a weird way, balances them. When you have, if I had a big, burly ass, like let's say you had, I don't know, what's the, like Tekken, right? This is a perfect example. If I could do a creative character in Tekken, and I had a creative character in Tekken, and I had a fast character like Xiao Yu, but he was big like Marta, how the hell are you gonna beat him?
Ooh,
Nah,
you ain't.
Ooh, you can't. You can't.
You can't. Like,
that's unstoppable.
Fast and big and stupid damage. How you gonna beat that? You're not gonna beat him. But that's the problem. Is that you can change
Superman like characters on there.
Yeah, you can change the sizes of the characters to the point where you could actually make characters stronger by them having different sizes. That's small ridiculous. Nightmare. Like a mini nightmare. Bruh, get out. Get out.
A mini nightmare? Oh, so, okay, so have you are the small nightmares the most invincible ones?
Nah,
the strongest ones.
They're not the most invincible ones, but it's just you got a smaller hitbox. So let's just say you can make a smaller character, but then that small character can have a big weapon too.
So they basically gave them a sandbox mode, except you could play it on ranked.
In ranked, yeah.
Right?
Stupid idea, yeah.
That's so illegal, man. That's so illegal.
You can there's a mod on PC where you can make your entire character just a rainbow box. So you have no idea what the person's weapon is or what that is.
What in the...
And so you're sitting there trying to fight this gigantic box, and you actually don't even know if they're hitting low or mid, or trying to grab you.
Oh, man. Yeah, they need to fix that for sure. They need to fix that. They're not going to. Damn, that's just illegal. Like, I would never want to enter a tournament for Soul Calibur. Then
I mean, online tournament, but regular tournament they don't have that. But that's
they're gonna ban it. Yeah,
the games come out bare bones in that way. The games come out very bare bones. You know what I'm saying? That's the main problem. And so multiplayer is a lot easier to establish than trying to make a narrative that's going to draw you in and keep you there.
Yeah, it's kind of like what Call of Duty ended up doing this year.
Oh yeah,
they just threw out the story and went with the multiplayer only.
And Battle Royale.
Yeah, and Battle
Royale, exactly.
Why would I sit there and make a story, sit there and put time into the story,
and no one's gonna play it?
No one's really gonna play it.
Honestly,
I'm gonna make you pay $60 for no story, and you're gonna pay it because you want to play Call of Duty. And if you buy it, then there you go. You fucking fooled yourself. Sorry, but you fell for the marketing scheme.
Well, even games like Spider-Man now do that. You got the game that came out, which is really good, but then a month later we got a DLC, and then this month we're gonna get a DLC, and then next month we're gonna get a DLC. to continue the story.
Wow.
I mean, but if you buy the first game, here's my thing: if you know the DLC is coming out for a game, and you don't like that it's gonna come out for the game, you can't buy the game at all. Because if you buy it, you're supporting the idea of having DLC in the game at all, and they're just gonna do it again. So
yeah.
So all they're gonna do is once the 3 DLCs come out, they're gonna make an ultimate edition of it.
Pretty much.
and they're gonna make an ultimate edition, and they're gonna be like, oh, by the way, in this ultimate edition, there's actually an extra piece of something that is not in the rest of the game. They'll make you buy
like
that.
a new skin or some shit like that.
An incentive for people who already own the game to buy the game a second time. It's like
But the only problem with that though is that I'm not against DLC because like for Horizon Zero Dawn, the DLC literally came a year after the game came out.
Like a smooth full year, just like Witcher. Like
so that they literally.
But that was obvious. It was developed after the game
came
out, not before they released the game, which which is more acceptable.
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually what you would want in the DLC, honestly.
Right.
Yeah, The Witcher and Horizon
DLC. Right. Don't tell me there's DLC to this game. The game ain't even out yet. You already telling me there's a season pass for $20. The game ain't even out yet.
See, that's where Battlefield fucked up at and Battlefront.
Yeah. But the thing is, I think why Spider-Man gets a pass is I think everybody just enjoyed the main story. And they thought that the game was full enough to where it warranted a DLC. Like, I don't see anybody who's a Spider-Man fan really complaining about a DLC.
I mean, they complained. They complained before the game came out.
And then when they played the game, they were like, okay, I get it.
But then they just accepted it, but they still kind of complained. Because they said the problem is that it's not that it had DLC, it's the timing of the DLC.
Right.
It literally was a month later. And then when this DLC came out and they played it, they was like, you can tell that they already were working on this when the game came out.
Yeah.
Right?
See, I told you that's right. Yeah.
I don't if unless it's a series that I support, I don't let them do that to me. I won't let that happen because I'm supporting the fact that they're willing to tell me up front, hey, look, by the way, here's your meal. Here is your chicken. No, here's your rice. Here's your broccoli. And in 20 minutes, you can pay for a little extra so you can get some chicken on your menu. Why? Why do I have to wait? Can't you just pay now and then you give it all to me right away? No. Wait a bit, and then I'll give it to you later. Wait, why not? No, just wait a bit. It doesn't make any sense to me. Give me the full game.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Yeah.
And if you're not gonna give me the full game, okay, then hold back.
Yeah,
on releasing it.
I'm with you on that. I see where you're coming from, Caleb, on that one, because I was the same way too for a while. Like, just give me the whole game, and because I don't like coming out of pocket to pay for extra content and all that stuff. That to me, that throws me. Like, if I'm investing money in a $60 game, I shouldn't have to pay, an additional $20 or $30 or $40 just to get added content so I can continue playing or covering the basis of all the other parts of the storyline. So, yeah, I see where you're coming from on that.
So for the guys who play like Destiny, in the one to Destiny 3, do you think they should just lean more into or just make a MMORPG third-person shooter?
Oh, I hope they never do that.
Okay. One, what does Destiny call itself? What does Bungie call itself?
Bungie calls it a
RPG.
A multiplayer, PvE third-person RPG shooter. They are not an MMO. They're like, we don't even.
Not an MMO.
That game's not an MMO, guys. It's not. It's not a massive multiplayer online game. It's just not.
If you tell me that's an MMO, you have never played one. I'm sorry, you have never played
that.
One.
Yeah, like it's not an MMO. It's more of an RPG that has shooters.
Okay, tell me a definition of MMO.
A massive
multiplayer online. It's usually 32 players and above.
If not, I wouldn't
because
even
literally
say 32.
The people in Destiny, when you play Destiny, when you hop in a Destiny lobby, like when you go to like Earth or something, you
Yeah,
literally
those, the
everybody
open
besides
area.
the enemies you fight, everybody on that you see is somebody playing. There's no NPCs
But
besides
you don't see everyone. That's the other thing.
you
You
don't
can't.
see. You
You're not
see a lot
allowed.
of people,
But Dron,
but you don't see everyone.
how many of those
You're
people
saying like
can you play with?
Huh?
How many of those people can you play with?
You don't. You only have 3
six.
people on your
An
fire team.
MMO describes the actual amount of people you can play with.
See,
Yeah, but you can finesse Destiny at the same time. Where if you keep loading in, like like Vincent and Wolf, when they met this group, right? You only have 3 people in your fire team. What they did was they all hopped in to I forgot what planet they went to, but they all hopped in the planet and they kept recycling it until the two or three groups that were fighting together all popped on the screen at the same time. So now you went from 3 people to I think there was like 9 that they all played with, and they could because we was all in a party. They was all in party chat, and they were playing with each other. So they finessed Destiny where they could play with 9 people instead of just the original 3. So you can finesse Destiny and play with more people if you want to.
Yeah,
You just gotta know how to finesse it.
Yeah, but MMOs don't do that. But that's what they said. But that's what they're saying. We might have MMO aspects, but we are not an MMO.
That's fine, but the MMO aspects makes the game.
I mean,
yeah, an MMO is like.
So let me give you an example, right? So have you played Blade and Soul?
No, the only thing I've played that's considered like an actual MMO is like Maple Story.
Maple Story. Okay. Here are the only similarities that are noticeable with Destiny and other games like Blade and Soul and so on and so forth. You make your character, I'm assuming. You have your skill tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have quests that you do both solo and in party.
Yes.
They can be side and or story.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you go from one place to another, be it a town, be it a planet, be it a whatever. Right.
Yes.
Those are the similarities that make that game what it is. Right. Those are the similarities that keep it. The difference, and this is the main difference of MMOs and that type of game, where you have Destiny, where you have Anthem, where you have The Division, games like that, right? The main difference is how many people are in the same server at the same time in the same place.
Yes. That is literally what distinguishes an MMO. Like if y'all played Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic,
right?
Like the amount of people you can get at one time in that server is kind of like ridiculous.
It was.
It's ridiculous. Like Terra is another MMO where if you get a bunch of people, you can get it rocking. And I'm just saying Destiny should honestly lean into that. I don't know why Bungie doesn't.
They won't. And the thing is that they purposefully make certain they purposely make certain people invisible to you when you play Destiny. They purposefully make it's kind of like where you play Dark Souls, how you can see like a shadow of somebody walk by, except you see more of those with Destiny and you can play with them actively without them having to join you. It's not an MMO in the sense of a traditional MMO. It's not.
Right.
Even it's
because I think the most you'll get in a Destiny game that you'll see is probably
like, what is your skill tree like in Destiny?
It's very simple.
It's a simple skill tree.
Yeah, no.
I mean, the most people you can see in a Destiny game is like 20 people.
Yeah, MMO skill trees in terms of the MMOs. Do you have that's the other thing? Even when it comes to FPS MMOs, even when it comes to their skill trees and the way classes work, to my knowledge, most MMOs have something called a rotation. where you rotate between certain skills consistently so that you're able to maintain a certain amount of damage. And then there's always the certain archetypes of each.
Well, you can.
I mean, Destiny has that, but it's a lot more simplified because you only have.
It's a simplified version of that because you have 3 different arcs, and depending on you can switch to different arcs whenever you want to, except for when they lock you in Nightfalls. But you can switch to different. You can rotate through the 3 different arcs, and depending on who you're fighting, depends on which one you should use.
No, that's not what I mean.
No, he's talking about more like the combos into use this move.
Exactly.
You talk about combos.
So it's like
Destiny has
Destiny does have that because Wolf loves doing that.
Yeah, but again, it's a lot more. It's streamlined. Like if I go for example for my class, like the what is it, the Stormcaller. So you have to have the right equipment, for example. So you have like one kind of buff that's applied when you do a certain type of damage that helps to recharge your other abilities. Now the issue is I'm only working with like 2, maybe 3 abilities to help recharge each other. So it's a lot more streamlined, honestly.
Yeah, like in my hunter class, I can throw a grenade, hit a melee, do my dodge, which gives me my melee back, hit another melee, which by that time gives me another grenade, which I can then throw again, and then start the whole process all over again. It's like it's a simplified combo.
Yeah,
that works together.
Yeah, so they call it an MMO light. That's what they call Destiny. That's what the dude said. It's not an MMO. We took certain aspects and we streamlined them to the point where you can't really recognize it. It might play like one, but it doesn't.
I mean, at that point, you're reaching technicality because then it's not a genre at all. It's just there.
Yes, that's what made it unique. It was a smashing of a whole bunch of different genres and streamlining. I think the last thing I want to ask y'all is, what do y'all mean about you can't make the story good in Destiny, and that literally hurts like the game?
They try to put their own lore twist on it. I'll give them credit.
That part doesn't ring any lick of sense to me because just because something's an MMO and RPG does not mean that the stories can't be good.
I think what they mean is that
it should be. Go ahead.
No, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say it should be good because they have these great ideas, and I like these ideas. It's just the way they execute it is what to me turns me off. The way they execute it, going around just killing shit, blah blah blah. Quest running, it just feels like you're just running errands for the council. Really, at the end of the day, you're just there just to stop Earth from getting dissolved in the darkness. I mean, that's the clear objective. But I think, they did try to make sure that they include the story. Like they try to push the app out there at one point, I believe, with the first Destiny game.
I mean, they have an app now.
They have an app for Destiny 2. So do they still have the cards with the lore, like the enemies and all that shit?
I mean, they have.
Do they still do that?
Yeah, they like when you unlock triumphs, you can unlock different lores that you can read too. You want to.
Okay.
I don't know if they do it in the cards anymore, but you can read lore if you want to.
Because I was gonna say in the first Destiny, they had these different cards for each planet that you visit on, like the lore behind each enemy, like what their story was about. So they did try to incorporate that story by hey, go get the app. You can learn more about the story offline and all that stuff. But I just think they could have done a better job executing it. That's just my opinion. That's how I see it. I think the concept's great. I think them trying to go into space, and take humanity or make humanity some advanced civilization. That's cool and all, and you're trying to bring back humanity into advanced civilization. I think that's great and all, but they just need to do a better job at the story instead of making it seem like you just running errands for the council. That's all I gotta say.
I think, and I kind of want to add on that. I think the problem is that I think there's a misunderstanding because I don't think they mean that they can't have a good story because it's an MMO like game. I think they mean they can't have a good story because they already started off so poorly with the story. They didn't
Right.
pay enough attention to the story. So trying to make it better later on would damage initial aspects of the game and even the purpose that people are playing the game. Why would I spend so much time, I don't know, making a vegetarian menu on in my restaurant when the demographic of people that are near my restaurant within a 15-mile vicinity are not vegetarian? They're not going to buy it. I'd be wasting money on buying that. So they're not going to put more money into building the story up to make it very gripping and entertaining like a lot of other single player games, because that's not the main goal. The story is just there as a placeholder.
I was just about to say something similar. I'm about to say the story is not the point of Destiny.
Yeah, it's not.
It's just there.
It's just there.
That's why Destiny can't have a good story, because nobody would care. It's not the point of Destiny.
And it's sad because it's kind of like how I see a lot of shonen. The story is very inconsequential, and the main point of it is just to show fights. You just want a reason to have two characters fight and make it look cool. And a lot of the shows don't have very necessarily a gripping story that's amazing. They just want two characters to punch each other to death.
Order.
Exactly. Well,
See, I understand what y'all are saying. It's just not what Bungie told us that game was gonna be.
So
I mean, people
see that's Bungie. That's Bungie's gonna cover their asses.
Lie all the time.
Yeah,
they're gonna cover their asses.
I get it. I get it. Like I understand it. It's just like I don't like Knights of the Old Republic has a great story and it's an MMO. Like I don't understand the disconnect right there. Like it's a true MMO RPG game and it's one of the greatest MMOs ever created, and it's still making money to this day.
But that's
the foundation. The foundation that Destiny laid out is not suited for it to be like Knights of the Old Republic. You know, that type of level.
It was made in a different era.
See, now here's the thing, right?
Right.
If you want, and this is, I hate saying this, but it's sad to this point. If you want a game,
it came out in 2012.
But that's not the point. If you want a game to be a good story-driven game, you want a very strong story-driven game. What happened?
What era would that be?
Jake,
right before
the gaming of PS3 era, the thing you're gaming now, they're not the same thing.
That's fair.
They're not. And,
they're totally different. There's totally different gaming.
Now,
what's different? Like
they've dumbed every single game down, regardless of what you say about any of the games. Every single game,
every game is dumbed down, and every game is focused on multiplayer, except for Sony exclusives.
Now, most games, this happens with fighting games, this happens with FPS games, this happens with all of these competitive games. Are dumbed down versions of their original selves. All the games are becoming easier and easier to play.
Yep,
all of them.
Because they need more people to play the game so they can make more money. So what you do, you dumb down the game.
Exactly. For example, Guilty Gear used to have a system called the YRC system, not YRC, Roman Cancel. And they had Red Roman Cancel, which you spend 50 meter to cancel off of any move. It didn't matter what it was, but you just spent 50 meter. But only certain moves had a FRC, which only had like a 3-frame window. 2 to 3 frame window, which is 2/60ths of a second that you had to get the window in. They don't have that in the most recent Guilty Gear. That's gone. They have an easier version of that, and you can do it for any move. It's not just specific moves anymore. The game is easier now. It's just a fact. Street Fighter. Each Street Fighter gets easier than the last one.
Yep.
Every Tekken gets easier than the last one.
Yep, that's what stupid special moves they got now.
Yeah, every game. Look how many. Yeah, that's the other thing. I remember, what was it? Here's a perfect example of how Tekken got easier over time.
Rage first was Rage.
Yep.
First was Rage. Then now you have Rage Drive. Actually, no. First was the combo system. The combo system allowing you to do combos a certain way.
Yep.
They added bounding. They added the Rage system, which gave you a comeback mechanic.
Yep.
Now they've added a fully armored super move and
Yep.
fully
In a Rage Drive.
Yeah, fully armored Rage Drive, which is just a rage attack. Street Fighter's the same. They all do they all do that shit over time. They want more people to play it
Because it's more mainstream now.
Yeah, it's more mainstream.
The more mainstream this genre, the more mainstream video games become, the more dumbed down video games going to become.
Right.
That's how it is.
That's just how it is. If Guilty Gear was as hard as it was in Double X, ain't nobody would play that motherfucker. I would still.
Nope.
But other people ain't gonna fucking touch that game. That game hard as balls.
Hey, you try to play Tekken 3 again, bro? Without all that help they give you, bro.
No, especially fighting against Jin in Tekken 3, you might as well stop. Like, don't even play.
You said Double X. That's the game.
Double X. Any variation of Double X. Like, I remember, perfect example. Okay, this is a perfect example. Zato in Double X. Okay, that was probably one of the most broken characters in the game at the time. That dude could make you eat one mix-up into an unblockable, dizzy you and insta-kill you. That was it. And he could do that to any character. So don't get touched. Don't get touched.
Damn, that's impossible.
I mean, like, the characters all of them were, like, most of them were pretty broken. Johnny touched you one time, put you in the corner, hit you in an unblockable, touched you the second time, and you died.
Oh.
Dang.
The problem is that getting there, you have to be good. Not anybody could just do any of those combos, any of those setups. Not everybody can do it.
I literally went and played Tekken 3 again, and I was like, yo, I feel like I'm trash at this game. Then I realized it's not that I'm trash at Tekken 3. I'm just not. I had to get used to it again because Tekken helps you so much now that when I went back to Tekken 3, I'm like, yo, there's no helping this.
Okay, so I still don't. I get the first part. I got the first part, guys. Like, I just don't understand if Destiny is supposed to get better.
Like, it easier.
It won't.
Then like, so you would have to fundamentally break the game down to its core to make the story better.
Bruh, gaming is soon gonna be one.
Pretty much.
Like, it's gonna
pretty much, yeah. You would have to change the core of Destiny to make Destiny better.
You would have to not call it Destiny.
I find that very, I just don't like, yo, like that goes against literally everything that makes sense. Does that make, like, I hope I'm making sense. Like, that should be able, they should be for Destiny 3.
See,
like, okay,
I know the studio sold a false dream of this amazing game.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go in and we're gonna keep everything that makes Destiny 2 great, and we're gonna go in and make the story better. And that's all I'm saying.
But
make the story better, make the PvE better, so when you play with your friends, it's better.
I'm sorry, Jake. They sold you a false dream. They sold you a false
Fam. I'm okay. No, but this is the thing. I'm okay because I think Anthem's going to do that. So I'm fine.
Anthem. We'll see what happens when it comes.
Jake, to make Destiny better, they're going to make the quest better. They're going to make the PvE elements better, but they're not going to focus on the story. They don't have to. The story is not getting better.
Incentive. There's no monetary incentive. Look, like, for example, again, I'm going to use the restaurant analogy again. There are not a lot of health-conscious food restaurants in the South. Why?
Right.
These dudes don't care. You go to the West Coast, you go up north, you see
regulations.
More health-conscious stuff. Yeah, and regulations. But you see less health-conscious stuff here because the demographic is not for that. The demographic of people who are buying Destiny are not people who want to get enveloped into a story.
Yeah, they don't. They're just playing for the multiplayer, and that's pretty much the selling point. Is the multiplayer
drawbacks to the game?
Huh?
Isn't
that why
really
what?
drawbacks to the game itself? So if that's a drawback to the game, wouldn't you want to make it better? But y'all telling me you can't make it better.
Ideally, you would, but it's not going to happen.
Again,
it's not going to happen.
The demographic is not for them.
I don't care if it happens or not. I'm just trying to understand, what does an MMO and an RPG have to do with a story being good in the game? Because that's what Vincent and Luis and Jerron literally said and liked all those posts that told me that. And I'm like, that literally is not the case.
Like Jake, I'm with you. I would have loved it for it to be a story.
I'm trying to figure out what
part
of having 32 players or more has to do with a story.
No, see, Jake, the thing. Okay, so you're thinking of a regular story, like John said. Destiny's story is a fetch quest. Destiny's story is literally.
He's right.
It's literally, yo, this is happening. I need you to go handle it. And then we put cutscenes in the middle to tell you the lore why it's happening.
Exactly. Give you a little bit of a story, I guess.
Destiny is a quest game. It's all about the quest. You do this, you get powerful stuff. You do more stuff, you get more powerful stuff.
No, okay, but isn't a quest a story?
It's a story,
but you're pretty much the errand boy. You're the council's errand boy. That's all I gotta say.
How do you make errands as fun as possible?
Basically.
And if you are an errand boy, how do you make the errands as good and narratively good and driven and content rich as possible while having the mechanics of Destiny?
Let me tell you how to do
but
it. You
I'm not
about it
saying
with your
something
friends.
that's crazy. I am.
You complain about your friends. That's a good way of saying it. When you play with your friends, it's more fun. Yeah.
Literally, you add friends. Like, honestly, that's
the thing. Is that
literally, Destiny becomes better. Instead of a 3-team fire team,
you make it
like a 6-team fire team.
Oh my, Drawn.
It's instantly 2 times better.
Boy, if
that does not make the game good. You're just adding more players.
Exactly.
But the more that's
Destiny's
model. The
The
more players you put in, the more random interactions you can have with those people, what makes the game more fun. Because when I go around and I shoot a grenade and I'll blow up a Kumi. But
that does not make the game good. It makes it entertaining.
No, it doesn't.
It would be like us on the podcast.
Sometimes all you need is to be entertained for something to be good.
Wrong.
That's not true.
That's wrong.
Entertainment, and quality have nothing to do with each other.
Ghost Story is entertaining not because it's good.
Look, we're gonna go to a game back on Xbox. It's called Kung Fu Chaos, right?
Oh god.
The game is not really that good, but the random stuff you encounter in that game makes it to that. That's one of my favorite games on the original Xbox. You see what I'm saying? Even though you can say, "Oh, the quality is not good," you have to factor in entertainment value into that at the same time.
I do.
So to you, Destiny is not good.
No.
To us who play it,
I think it's a decent game.
Okay, to you, it's a decent game. To people who play it, like me, Kumi, Luis, Vincent, Wolf, it has more value to us because of the experience we have, what makes it higher than you. So when we come into debates, you're like, "Oh, it's just a decent game," but we're like, "Yo, you played it with us. It would be a better game than you're saying it is right now because you don't have that experience factor in it at all. You're missing a whole factor of the game."
But here's the problem. The problem is that I can take a shit and I can take it by myself and it's boring. But if I take a shit and I'm talking on the phone with somebody else, it's more entertaining.
Okay, but who does that? If I'm taking the shit, I'm not talking to nobody.
Mukela, I get what you were saying. I get what you were saying.
Do you see what I
mean? I get what you.
Oh man!
I'm just saying that entertaining and being quality are completely two different things.
Exactly.
I think Destiny and Fortnite are very entertaining. I don't necessarily think they're great games.
No, they're not quality games. Their entertainment value. You
They
get
are making the player. They are making the player do all of the work.
exactly.
But like I said,
Exactly.
people consider
That's
Minecraft
exactly
a
right.
good game, and you got to do all the. Not only you got to do all the
Right,
work,
you gotta
literally
build
do all the creative.
everything.
Minecraft's entertaining. It's not a good game.
Eh,
I think
you
Destiny's
play
not the
some.
game that you're looking for.
To tell you the truth, there's
You
three
say
different types of
so. Go ahead.
games. No, seriously, there's three different types of games. There are entertaining games, there are good games, and then there's both. God of War is both.
Boy.
Yes, God of War is both. Spider-Man's both. Destiny's one of them. Like, it's okay. That's fine. I'm not crapping on it. I'm just trying to figure out. Like, I understand it's good. I'm just trying to figure out what an MMO and RPG got to do with the story. I just that part floored me, guys. That floored me in the group chat. I was like, what does that have to do with anything? Just because you got 32 players don't mean that the story got to be crap because it's an MMO.
I don't think that's what they were.
But the story is crap. Period. I mean, like
the story isn't engaging. It's just the way it's laid out.
Has an engaging story,
but it's trash. Exactly. See, he understands.
That's the thing. It's engaging in the sense that it's watchable to a degree, or it's digestible to a degree. But the degree is only enough to allow you to be there to do, again, the gameplay. For me, Naruto ended up being something I watched only because I wanted to talk shit about it with somebody else later. That was the entertaining part of it.
No. Michaela, you got it right. I watched Naruto probably the last 2 years, read it and watched the last 2 years just because I had put in so much effort and time into it. I'm like, I'm going to finish this. And then I'm going to see what happens at the end. And at the end, I was severely disappointed.
That's why I read it and went on with my life, bro. Simple as that.
Yeah, but
why do you think Destiny has to keep coming out with DLC? Because if they don't,
exactly,
that's what
they got quests to do.
That's
they gotta add more quests.
Disappointment. But that's the thing.
Right.
The end result is disappointment. What do you get unless you keep playing the game? You don't get that return on investment of the game. The experience that you get is not. You're not getting that return on investment anymore. If I go and I play, what's the game I can think about that's good and has multiplayer?
I think well, you might not like it, but I think the original Black Ops is like the perfect example of a
first one.
Yeah,
Black Ops is pretty fun.
The second one was good.
The second one
was good.
Had what you would want,
the best,
a quality game. It's like the story was good enough, and then you go to the multiplayer, and the mechanics were great, the weapons were great, the maps were great, the gameplay was great.
Duty games actually had good stories, and
yes,
nobody know about them. And it's
Infinite Warfare had like one of the best Call of Duty.
Infinite Warfare did.
That multiplayer was trash.
Yes. Fact.
Advanced Warfare, I give Advanced Warfare some credit too, because they had great actors.
And see, that's why I ask questions about multiplayer. It's not that I don't have experience with the guys, and it's not that I don't have a console. I'm just trying to figure out. I can see these games with my eyes. I see y'all playing them, and I'm like, okay, this must be fun, but is it good?
Nope.
Doesn't matter.
Like for me,
I would want to spend my money on something that can do both.
Yep.
No, but if I haven't, this is why I say it don't matter, and the reason why I don't go back, I don't care about backwards compatibility, because I don't buy a game so I can for the rest of my life have fun with it. I buy a game to have fun with it in a certain period of time.
That's fine. Yeah, that's understandable.
So if it's okay, if it's decent, but it's highly fun, that's fine with me, because in about a year anyway, I'm playing something else. So it doesn't matter at the end of the day. To me, it doesn't.
See, I'm different. I'm not about to spend my money on something that's okay.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not gonna give anybody.
I'm not gonna do that, guys. I'm very picky when it comes to games.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
I am.
I'm not. I don't. Like I said, I'll go to McDonald's and buy a cheeseburger. I wasted my money on a subpar.
That's sustenance. That is sustenance. You need that, sir. I don't need video games.
I don't need McDonald's.
Nah. If you go into McDonald's,
I can go to the grocery store and buy better quality meat and make me a cheeseburger.
cheaper.
But even though I know McDonald's is subpar, I don't have a problem with if I'm super hungry and I'm doing something at the time. I don't have a problem with wasting $1 on a subpar cheeseburger.
I do.
See, that was it. It's based on who's doing it.
Yep.
Jake does not want to put his money on something he doesn't feel is good.
Nope.
Me, as long as I have fun with it and it's entertaining, then if it's good, sure. But if it's not, that's fine because in about 6 months to a year, I'm gonna be dropping the game anyway and figure something else out.
But my thing is that I like having a library of games that are good enough to where I can sit there and be like, man, you know, I really missed playing this game. That was such a good game. I'm gonna go back and play this game again. Guess what? Very little games come out that do that anymore. So I don't buy a lot of games.
Yeah, same here.
So
same here. Yep.
I can go back and be like, I want to start Persona 5 all over again. And I'm not going to be mad because that was a fun game. I can start Nier over again. I've replayed Dot Hack so many fucking times. I don't even know how many times I played that game.
I can say the same about some of the games I got too, like Deus Ex Mankind Divided.
Deus Ex.
That's a great one.
Yeah. I'm just like when I compare games, it's not that I don't talk about the fun. Because usually to me, quality translates into having some type of fun experience, in my opinion. Like if I can see the game is quality made and like the mechanics are tight and the UI works and it's not buggy and glitchy and the story is decent, right? If not good.
Right.
I can see myself having fun in that game, even if it's multiplayer, right?
Of course.
A game can be fun and then be absolutely positively crap. And then I'm thinking about, okay, I'm having fun, but I paid however amount of money for this. And I'm like, I'm too much of a nitpick.
Here's an example of a fun game I would never go back to. Borderlands.
Okay. That's fair.
Yes.
You know, a fun game I'll never go back to? The Crew.
Yes.
Dang.
Yeah, like those are fun games. Those games shouldn't even be full price games. They should be like.
But guess what? Guess what? The difference is the way I see it. I can have fun with a game, but when a game is fun and really good, it just means more to me. But it's not that I don't appreciate the other games like The Crew, what I have fun with. But it just
I appreciate
some games. There's some games that are very special, that are high tier, like Persona 5. You know, I haven't played it yet, but I just know by looking at it, I know it's high tier. And there's some games that are just really fun. And I keep those two games in separate categories, but I'm not gonna not buy one because I think it might not be fun. I mean, it might not be good. Like, as long as I'm having fun with the game, especially now where they give you betas, like I'll definitely try out the game if I have fun and I can find people to play it with, then I'll definitely get it. Like, I don't have no problem spending my money on that. I'm paying. As long as you can give me an experience that's good longer than a month, then we good.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I just can't invest $60 in something that I'm gonna play for a month.
Well, like I said, I haven't paid full price for a game in like 2 years. So
big facts.
Yeah. Yeah. See, y'all think about like the whole thing. I'm thinking about like when we talk about like Destiny. And like I think we got on this because we were talking about Anthem, and I can just like see Anthem, and it's like, to me, I trust BioWare because they that's a narratively driven PvE.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No.
It's a narratively driven PvE game that the guys that did the
Dragon Age and Mass Effect.
Yeah, the team that did the original Dragon Age and the team that did Mass Effect 1 and 2 are working on that game as we speak. So
my only problem with that game, if it's strictly story driven, if I get to the end of the story and I have to wait for a DLC to come up for the next story, what am I supposed to do?
Drawing, you literally do that for Destiny.
yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, yo, this is the problem.
No, I got more.
That
to
is
do
the
in
problem.
Destiny. 'Cause I have the
That's
I got the PvP aspect of Destiny to keep me playing.
But it's subpar.
No, the PvP in Destiny is not that bad.
Bro, it's actually not though. Especially Gambit.
Especially with this new Gambit mode. Yeah, the PvP part of Destiny is not so far.
Did you have to pay for that? Did you have to pay for the extra?
It was the
Gambit, yeah.
Wow.
But we played Crucible before that.
Okay, Crucible I can understand, but then paying
Crucible is
extra
fun
for that?
Yeah, Crucible. No, in all honesty, one of the things that brought us back to
You have to pay extra for another multiplayer mode?
Was that?
It's part of the DLC, yeah.
We will kill it up, yo.
Man. Oh man! This is why I stopped. This is why I'm glad I stopped that war.
Y'all will play
Because
it.
Oh my god!
And we
you are a vet
to its
man.
bone.
Y'all are justifying having an abusive relationship. Like that's funny.
That's bro.
Gambit didn't bring us back to the game. Crucible did, which is already part of the game.
She used to beat the hell out of me, but now she let me do it in the ass. Like, right.
But see, that's why I broke up. Look, Caleb. That's why after one I pulled out.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's crazy. It's
Look,
like
after I saw what was going on with 2.
Like we see the flaws in Destiny 2, but we're gonna crap on Anthem, a game we have not played.
Because there's no PvP.
That's why I said.
There's no Crucible to keep me playing Anthem. There's only story and PvE. There's no PvP element. You're literally taking an element straight out the game.
But what if they add it as DLC?
DLC, that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
No, that's different.
No.
Oh, it's different, huh?
Because Destiny gave me the PvP at first. Gambit is literally just came out. But they had Crucible since Destiny 1.
I really don't understand this. I really
really. It's so crazy that.
You know the best part is? Y'all have to understand it. Because y'all ain't gonna buy the game anyway. So who cares?
That works out fine for me.
Well, yeah, that's the point. Like that's crazy to me.
I gotta pay.
I can go play with other people. It's okay.
I gotta pay for 3 games so that one game.
Basically.
The funny thing is, you don't have to.
More error runs and raids.
What do you mean you don't have to? Because I get to play online?
No, because literally. If you sat there and just waited until PS Plus gave you Destiny for free,
bruh, no,
you didn't have to pay, or you could just
pay.
Destiny drops its expansions like they dropped Forsaken, and then they made a $60 game that's on a disc that has everything from Destiny 2 at the beginning until now, all in a $60 package.
But you're looking at it from the perspective of somebody who waited. Years.
That's why we have options.
The problem is that you're supporting them doing it again by buying it at all.
Exactly.
So why would you? No. So you're gonna
that's why when I
years to play a game so I can get everything in one package, and I buy it, and I know they're gonna do the same thing the next game, but I'm gonna do the same thing and wait 2 years again. Then who cares?
What do you mean who cares? Because then, see, you'll wait 2 years next time, and then you'll wait, and then they'll drop we're gonna put a 4 out, and now you just bought this one. They about to shut online down. They about to because every time you do that, they're gonna pump something out quicker and quicker and quicker because they know you're gonna pay for it again.
Then there's the thing you have to make. You have to figure out. How much are I willing to go through it? And then when you're not willing to go through it anymore, just don't pay it.
But are you?
That's the point.
I'll rewind. Hold on. I'll rewind them.
Yeah.
But are you not going to pay for it?
That's literally all of last year for us. That's the thing.
They're buying it. If they don't, they're not buying it. That literally is the whole point.
But the problem is that even if you don't buy it,
other people will. They will.
Other people will.
They will.
And
that's their choice, bro. Honestly.
But the problem is that
when gaming becomes stream, you can't control. You lose control over stuff.
But like I said, if you're gonna support that part of the industry, go ahead, because it's gonna get to a point where you're not gonna be able to escape a microtransaction for your game to function.
And probably when that happens, I probably will stop playing video games.
Probably.
Yeah,
probably.
Man. I love how people say they can just like turn that off.
Probably.
That's so much harder than y'all think it is.
As well, because I watched my dad, who was a extreme gamer. He doesn't play video games anymore. So I know I've seen it in real life happen.
Yeah, it can happen, but John, I'm talking about you.
Yeah, we talking.
I'm not
yeah.
talking about you.
As you get older, you get more responsibilities. So sometimes you lose time to do what you want to do. So now
that's you.
Yeah, but for the hardcore gamers,
yeah, like
your choice. The reason why y'all are whole hype on this is because you were thinking in the future, I'm gonna have to deal with this BS.
No, I just don't understand the criticism and
I always drop gaming because, like Jake said at the beginning, it's just a hobby. Guess what? You can get a new one.
I mean,
it is, but it's a cycle. It's a cycle that continues.
That is not how hobbies work.
The problem is that if you have a certain habit, but if you have a certain habit that perpetuates your hobby, you will be carrying that habit through all of your hobbies.
John, these aren't hobbies.
Like, that's the thing, is that if let's say you get into makeup, let's say you get into makeup and then
I'll just watch anime.
Okay, you're gonna watch anime, and then guess what? Anime, as it is right now, is incredibly diluted with complete trash.
Stale, yeah.
Straight up bullshit. You have 40 anime come out a season, and 5 of them are good. How the hell? Sometimes that's if we're lucky.
Yes. Because like my list has gotten so smaller every season. It's just like 1 or 2.
Guys, but see, this is the thing. I'm not even trying to think that deep into it. I'm just trying to figure out why Anthem is like
gonna be trash.
This apprehensive thing to y'all when it's literally like y'all said they are comparable.
Apprehensive. I'm going to buy the game. What are you talking about?
My thing is, I'm kind of curious to see. Yeah, because I'm kind of curious to see what's gonna happen with it. I'd rather just wait and see.
I'm not. I know it's gonna be poo poo, like the Division. I knew the Division was gonna be poo poo. I saw Destiny. I was like, Destiny's gonna be poo poo, and this shit is just Iron Man, but Iron Man pooping in a suit. That's it. It's all gonna be poo poo. I don't care about these games. These games are pseudo MMO bullshit. Because I had these games fucking years ago, and they worked better, and they did everything better. And these new games that come out, these pseudo MMOs, killed the MMO genre because the MMO genre didn't nickel and dime people the same way that these guys nickel and dime people to keep the series up.
And that's the difference is that you know that I didn't play MMOs back in the day, so this is me coming to this is a new experience. So this is what I know. There is no past. You have a past. You know how it was in the good days.
I refuse. That's why now, when it comes to those games, I refuse to play them because my freedom is gone.
Look, just like fighting games, we know how the fighting games used to be back in the day and how good.
Yeah.
But now that we played them, when we play these new ones, we can tell they made it easy. But for anybody who hopped into Tekken at Tekken 6, they're like, "What are you talking about? This is what I know. It's great."
Yep.
Exactly.
But yep. So
I'm just wow.
And it's going to keep getting worse as gaming becomes more and more mainstream.
Sooner or later, gaming is going to be like how movies are.
Exactly.
You see how movies have turned into.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. This is inevitable. It's kind of hard to fight.
Man, I can't wait for them to reboot the first Call of Duty for the 8th time, so that my grandkids can play it.
Yeah, man, I don't.
That's so true.
Hey, at least Skyrim.
I don't understand how people can really shell out money for a Call of Duty every year.
Because,
it's easy.
Yeah,
as long as their friends buy it, they're gonna buy it too.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They don't understand if gaming is more about hanging out with your friends than actual gaming now. That's what gaming is going towards.
Yeah.
That's why Microsoft is going towards the way they're going.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of the games themselves being good, and like enjoying the games and the experience of games.
It's more like a hangout.
It's
thing,
more of a hangout
session.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of being
Like-
able to talk
like it's
to
like
each
going to a
other,
club.
Willingly participating in that.
yeah, they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why do you think Fortnite and mobile games are
So big.
Sides of gaming, because for every Fortnite Destiny, you get a God of War Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So
What?
No, yeah, it's kind of like
Wow.
you know, it's
All
true
right, cool.
because it's like
you still have good games.
you're gonna have the good
games.
game exactly.
I just don't understand
Yeah,
how something like
Look,
Destiny.
good games
I can
stand
see
out
it,
so
Anthony.
much now.
I can see
that
it.
Everybody knows it's a good game. Unlike
Like-
back in the 90s, where there is good games that you were like, yo, I never played that before, or I never heard of it because there were so many good games that you couldn't play all of them. Now it's, yo, oh, this is a good game, and it stands out completely over all the other stuff that's out.
And you know what's crazy? Think about this, right? After this generation of games,
Mhm.
right? There's gonna be after this generation is completely over, the next generation, there's gonna be a library of games that are purposely antiquated for us. For example, Dark Souls is not made for us. It was made for the people who used to play Ninja Gaiden. Okay, because they liked the difficult games. They liked having hard boss fights. They liked those old school difficult arcade games.
Yeah.
That's what that was trying to do. That's why all of a sudden, anytime a game is even slightly difficult, it's a Dark Souls
Dark
game,
Souls.
which
Yeah.
I fucking hate.
It's a
but-
Dark Souls of shooters, or Dark Souls.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
So basically, what you're telling me is that gamers got to be, like I said, probably some of the dumbest people on the planet.
Exactly. Yeah. Ha.
Basically. Yep.
So basically, what I've been saying has been like true for like a long time.
Yeah. Because you're gonna watch. There's gonna be another game that's gonna come out, and it's gonna be called Window Washer, and that game is gonna be an antiquated version of like Call of Duty, because the new Call of Duty games are 100% auto aim. So when somebody walks in your line of sight, all you have to do is hold the trigger and they die. Now you actually have to aim at people again. That's basically how games are gonna be. There's gonna be the older versions, the harder versions of the game.
that's basically like Rainbow Six Sieges.
And then even they're gonna get
Yes.
easier.
Yep.
Like
Rainbow Six Siege is literally a callback to old
So,
shooters. That's why people love it.
so do you
Right.
think multiplayer ruin games?
no.
No.
Yeah, online.
I think what I think ruined games
Is the exploitation of multiplayer?
is, I wouldn't even say the exploitation of multiplayer. What the fuck was that?
Dang, who
Mm-hmm.
was that? Bakumi?
Huh. That's not supposed to happen. Open a game. Shit happened. Okay. Anyways.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
But-
Oh.
Whoops.
So what I think ruined gaming was the concept of constant microtransactions. That's what ruined the gaming.
The concept what? Microtransactions?
Of constant microtransactions. And they had to do that to supplement people not wanting to pay more than $60 for the game. They had to balance it out in some way. But now the problem is that the quality of game is not that of the $60, and they're still pumping out season passes and microtransactions.
Yep. Like
That's
I said,
the
some
problem.
don't have to give next generation. I have said that.
Every time something gives. So, for example, you have really nice games and you had a big ass PS2 library. Guess what? That library ain't as big when you got your PS3, but you got online. You didn't have to pay for it if you didn't want to, but hey, there you go. Oh, guess what? Your PS4 library looking like your book library. Okay, I know. Some people nowadays don't fucking read. So,
Oh.
That is
You-
true.
So my
So
question
your-
to you is:
Mm.
are you advocating for games to be more expensive?
Yes. Look.
No, not you,
Yes.
Jake. Not you, Jake. I'm asking him.
I've
No, Jake.
I've
I'm
said
asking him because if he says
About
yes,
what? What
then
was
you
the
gotta
question?
take everything he
This
said
is
2
why I call
podcasts ago.
gamers stupid. Y'all
No.
can't complain about
So, yeah, are you advocating
and
for
not
games
want to
be
pay
more
for the
expensive?
damn solution.
So the Jake,
wait. What was the question? What's the question, Jerome?
If
that game should be more expensive.
If I'm guaranteed a game that will actually meet the requirements of $60 or $70, I'll pay it. But if it's not gonna meet that, I'm not gonna pay it. The problem is that
at that point, you kind of owe Jake an apology.
How?
Because Jake said the same thing 2 podcasts ago, and you said no.
Oof.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Because what I was talking about.
Damn.
No, I didn't. Because what we were talking about was different then. Because he said, should games now be $60? I mean, should games now be more, or should games be more expensive next gen?
Yeah, because like I've said this, the industry.
If the game is gonna deliver, but that's the thing is that if the game is gonna deliver to me, that's what I'm saying is that I'll pay for a game to deliver to me.
Yeah, I would
it's supposed to. But if the game
is worth it,
money.
But the reasons why I said that is because it's harder to develop. Y'all don't want the microtransactions.
They're not going to make the game better. That's the thing that you're not understanding. They're gonna raise the price of the game, but you're still gonna get a shitty game. You think
that's
what you're saying, like cookie cutter,
a cookie cutter back to quality like it did PS2 era, then he'll pay it. If they're PS4 era type games, then no, he's not.
I'm not gonna pay it because, for example, I paid. Yeah, because like I'm saying, I paid, for example, for Fighters. Technically, I paid $100 for that game. Why? I wanted to support the game. I wanted to get everything the game I had to offer, everything, because I wanted that game, and I thought that game was worth my money. I paid $100. Why not? So I got all the characters. I got everything in the game. That was something that I had to buy. And the only reason why I did that was because, again, I wanted to give them my money. And to support that game. Guilty Gear, I have 2 copies of that game. Actually, I ended up being 3. I had one on PS3. I have a Japanese version. I have an English version. Why? Because I wanted to support that game. I'm going to give you money if you give me something good. If you don't give me anything good, you're not going to have my business ever again.
Fair.
So if these people are going to give me a good game, they'll get my money. They will. But if they raise the price of all games generally to $70 and they still do the same bullshit that they're doing now, here's another $20 season pass. Here are all these microtransactions. It's not going to change nothing. They're just going to raise the price of the initial game $10, and everything else is going to be the same. That's why I don't want the games to be more expensive, because they're not going to do what I think that they're going to do.
I need to wrap this up too, by the way.
Yeah.
Is that a good way to end off?
Yeah.
We're done. We're done. We got nothing else to say. That's interesting. That's an interesting conversation. That's all I want to know. Yeah. Okay. Damn. So we just out here playing mediocre ass games. That's crazy.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's not. I mean, game of the year for this year.
So I'm glad I have this backlog now.
What competition do you have for this game of the year? Most of the games, from my point of view, are whack. They're whack ass games.
Like I say, good games stand out now. Instead of just being games. Instead of being an abundance of good games stand out.
Look at Bloodborne. I've returned to Bloodborne. There's still content in Bloodborne that people are finding.
Yep.
Like, what the hell?
It's a good game.
Yeah.
Like that, I paid the DLC, pay the DLC. Why'd I pay it? Let me get that. I want more content of this game. And the game that game was a game that did not stop giving. It did not stop giving. Well, are they still pumping DLC out for it? No. They give the DLC out for what's it called? Dark Souls 3?
Yep.
That's it. They're not doing his 20 season passes. You give me a good game, I'll keep paying you to get a good game. But if your game is whack as shit, you're not getting $1 from me.
Okay.
Not even just for your base game.
All right. So we just out here having fun with like rocks and shit. That's what it sounds like with these games.
I would rather get in. I would rather go and act like I had a Nintendo Labo and make a box outside, roll around, and wait to get hit by a car than buy Destiny.
Damn.
All right, then. That's a great way to end, guys. That was episode 5 of the Real Nerd Variety Podcast, RNVP. Guys, let everybody know where they can find you at. Your socials, what y'all doing, either like live streams or Twitch or channels.
You can find me on at iCause Karma. Be careful. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's the worst plug.
Careful.
That's the worst.
Be careful.
Really be careful.
That's the worst plug. Hey, come to my channel, but be careful, guys.
I mean, it's not wrong, but
you saw the group chat.
The warning.
Be careful.
So, what else? I stream at twitch.tv/themintyq. I think we'll just end up putting that shit in the description. Maybe so, maybe not. And then there's again my Twitch. I cause Karma. It's the same shit. I stream. What am I streaming? Zone of the Evangelion. That's what I'm calling that game.
Oh,
instead of calling it
Zone of
the Enders. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Zone of the Evangelion.
Good stuff.
So, but yeah, that's it. Be careful. All right then.
Yeah, mine is Mr_Vacation14 at Twitter. So you can feel free to hit me up on there.
mine is on Twitter at RNVP_BK and that's all I got for now, at least.
And you can find me at Twitter, RNVP_JRon. You can also find me on Twitch, RNVP_JRon. I'll be streaming 2K starting next weekend.
Oh boy.
2K is probably Saturday or Sunday mornings. Either Saturday or Sunday mornings. And then you see me streaming during the week, then I'm probably playing Fortnite or Destiny with my friends. And they'll be in the party chat, so it'll be fun times.
Very ignorant times. Very ignorant times.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm Jake. I'm not giving you my Twitter because I don't want you motherfuckers in my shit. You dumb fucks, especially.
Ooh boy.
You dumb ass. Stupid ass. Gamers. Dumb ass Laker fans. I don't want you in my shit.
By the way, we're sponsored by No Food of Hawaii hot sauce. Please go buy that shit. It's the best. We're not really sponsored.
Oh man.
Please sponsor me. You have the best sauce ever.
Jesus.
Shit is liquid gold.
Okay. Well, that was a good episode, guys. We're out.